Hello, and thank you for joining us for session number 24, our final session of the Unsung Tales, a one-ring actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can visit happyjacks.org/unsungtales without the the. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can go to happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I have been your Loremaster for this amazing game. I can't believe we're at the end. Okay, I'm not even done at the intro. I'm already like cheering up. Okay, everything's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a great night. Please know that we are using safety tools for this game. We have X cards. We've done lines and veils. If you've gotten this far, you know how this goes. You're fine. Let's go ahead and go around the table and introduce our amazing cast and characters and everything. And everything's going to be fine. Okay. Let's start over here.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play Runa of Bree. She is a human treasure hunter. In possession of 3 swords now as of last episode. I'm very, very excited to test out my new one that is statistically unlikely not cursed.
Yeah.
For once.
For once, yeah.
I mean, it would have been, but you just happen to be thinking the exact right thing as you picked it up. A moment I cannot believe. That was just like
So good.
whoa.
I've been telling people that all week.
It's the best. If you go back, it's amazing. It's worth it. That one moment is worth the whole thing.
We both use she, her pronouns. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how this combat goes.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I'm here one final time to play Aerlind of Mithlond, who is an elf captain, who is totally prepared to fight this bear.
Hi, I'm Michelle, she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Liriel of Rivendell, also she, her. And she is just raring to go. She wants to kill this thing.
And I am Kadave. I'll be playing Hannar, Dwarf of Durin's folk. I didn't mess it up this time.
No,
It really
you
is
did great.
Durin's folk.
Yeah.
I got confused last time, okay? There's
There's a lot of information.
many, many different groups and societies that have fallen and risen, and it's a mess. But we're both he, him, and I think he is having a moment of a little bit of, like, fear lockup.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how he does when it actually comes to time to swing an axe. So
Yeah. All right. So last time we finished up visiting Hannar's family, and you made a very quick, somewhat like abbreviated journey. We didn't do a full journey phase to the mines. Along the way, you got some extra information. You found some runes that actually, that and like this shining crystal that sent some rainbows were this beautiful, awesome thing that you found along the way. And they actually helped you find what it was, a side entrance to the mines, which you didn't really know that last time, but that's what it is. You found your way into these old dwarven mines that have been uninhabited for thousands of years. They have not yet been reclaimed by modern dwarves. And as you were going through there, you found Arvendui's guard, like they had been buried there. And one of them was a named character. And so Malanteth, I got it right. Malanteth, who was kind of like the high protector of the king, Arvendui. And while you were kind of looking at it there, he was buried in this large cairn. Obviously, they'd just like piled rocks. They'd given him the best funeral they could under the circumstances. You could tell there were other like guardians who had been buried around in this chamber, but you could tell that as they went, like they were less and less buried. There were less ceremony to it as there were fewer there. And while that was happening, Runa was kind of poking around, the treasure hunter that she is, and she noticed like a glint underneath some of the rocks in Malanteth's cairn, and she went looking through it, and she saw it was like this beautiful sword, and she thought, completely on her own as a player, without me saying a single thing, that she was going to kill the terror of Angmar, which is the beast that they're there to slay, as she picked up the sword, which happened to be legit, like written in the book, the one way that you could pick up that sword without being cursed by it. So if the person picking it up
perfect.
swore to kill the Terror of Angmar, the Beast of Angmar, as they were picking it up, then they would not be cursed, and that's exactly what happens. So she now has this amazing sword that she will hopefully use to help avenge these incredible knights. You went farther into the mines and you found this very long hallway. It's a pretty big hallway, but that is basically where the knights and those who were left kind of made their last stand against the beast, and you can tell that they still failed. You made your way past that, way deep into this large chamber that had pillars on both sides. It's the last hall. Here there were piles of some treasure. It just kind of piled around. It's not in any organization. It looks like it's been there for some time. And then you also saw this big nest of bones, which is kind of the equivalent of like when a dog or a cat like piles things they like and sleeps on it, except it's all gross, like, victims of this beast. This long hallway has huge pillars that go up, and it's so high that you actually, with the torchlight you have, can't see the ceiling. It is a great hall. This must have been, where the kings of old of these dwarven kingdoms held court and things like that. It is a massive, massive room. We're talking like football field size, by the way. Like, it's big. And then off to the side, there's all these like hallways and rooms used for a myriad of different things, serving, waiting, all these things. And as you were there, you started hearing like movements. And then eventually you started hearing the voice of the Beast of Angmar. And it was able to speak to you. It has a very hissy, kind of nasty voice. It was mocking you in a lot of ways, and then it finally showed its face, which is like a gaunt human face that kind of like then goes back into fur. And it is human-esque, but it's like, by human, I mean like people-esque. It's sort of got features of dwarves and men and elves all together, but it's like kind of pulled across, kind of like a mask. And then it's got just like white eyes that don't have pupils. And then like it's got like the stains kind of around its mouth, kind of like if you see like old vampire movies, like the elder vampire who's awakened that's like still stained with blood. It's kind of like that still.
So not creepy.
Not creepy, no. And it does have teeth that were not human-like. So it's got like fangs and like not vampire fangs, but like animal teeth. As it showed that to you, if you all had to make rolls to see, and Hannar was like struck with dread and fear and some shadow points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So especially two shadow points.
Big shadow.
Yeah, this thing's not nice. Also because it really spoke to, as a dwarf, like this is kind of like the thing that the dwarves who live nearby have always used to kind of scare their kids. Oh, if you don't go to bed on time, or oh, if you jump in the river, the Beast of Angmar's gonna get you. So it like seeing the actual thing that has been used to strike fear in your heart.
And it being worse,
Yes.
right? Like,
Worse.
all of the descriptions of bad things that are given to children are terrifying. And then to actually encounter it as a full-grown dwarf and be like, oh no, this is so much worse than all of them.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
So bad, yes. All right, and
Aerlind.
as it stuck its head out, it was in one of the hallways, and then it pulled back. So we're just in that moment right after. So you can still, it's hard to tell where it's at because the sound echoes so much in all these now empty chambers. At one point, they probably were covered with tapestries and cloth and draperies and things like that. But at this point, it's all gone. So it's just these very big, very empty stone caverns, basically. And it is very clearly not just a beast. It is very clearly a thinking creature. And it is of the shadow, and especially we were talking last time that you, the elves specifically, feel it like in your bones. This is a thing of darkness. Yeah, so on that cheerful note, you are now in back in darkness, hearing kind of like these echoes of like sometimes footsteps, sometimes drag, and just all these strange noises now. You know it's there somewhere, and you have Hannar's awesome torch that is shedding a lot of light, but it doesn't even hit all the walls that are... Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Previously, Aerlind had suddenly grown a spine and was yelling at it.
That's right.
And I think that continues.
Okay.
But he is going to look at everyone first, having just called it out. Just like, should I keep going?
Runa is like, yeah, yell at it.
I think, like, I don't think Hannar even makes eye contact. Like, you look over and I'm probably just, like, holding the torch, kind of staring at where it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just white-knuckling around the torch
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Is there any way I could use, I don't know, I'm thinking like hunting or something like that, where with Aerlind's voice reverberating on the hall and then hearing footsteps to kind of maybe narrow in on a location of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to have you all roll awareness right now.
Okay.
And all of you had drawn your weapons, I believe?
Yes.
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 We are prepared for battle. Oh. Mm-mm.
Oh, no.
Oh no. I'm
Well,
gonna use a hope.
Here's what I get for awareness.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I succeed. Nothing special.
I succeed. I success, but
Okay.
no tangwars or anything like that. It's an 11. So,
Okay.
okay.
I
I
succeed.
didn't know if that was something.
Oh, no, that is something.
Yeah.
You rolled a... Wait.
I have a 10 and an 11.
If you have
Okay.
if you have the... if you roll favored, then it's the 10.
Okay, so 10. Still make it.
11
Yeah, the
is an
11's
I.
the eye.
Oh, ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what...
So 10.
I used to... I drew it on those a long time ago with a Sharpie, but by now it's long enough they've kind of wiped off.
I succeed with the Tangwar.
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay. And Dave, you said you failed?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna get to all of you and just everyone else succeed.
Yeah.
And then you super succeeded. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, I'm gonna have you actually, because you were touched by shadow, you know, are full of dread and you miss this awareness. I'm gonna have you, like, you've gone back and you're kind of having this moment where you're like in a memory. You're still in the room, you're still paying attention. This is more just like a little bit of
It's
a
hard
freak
not to
out.
think of-
Yeah, this
for
is
sure.
not like a magical moment, but I want you to, like, what are you thinking about in this moment that you were so distracted by that you're not able to bring yourself back to this present moment for fear?
I think there was probably a scare when Hannar was a kid that one of the siblings disappeared, like went off to play, fell asleep, took a nap. Nobody knew where they went. And so I think Hannar had this baseline fear of, like, the Beast of Angmar got them. Like, that's what everybody says happened if you don't follow the rules. So, like, I think that's the thing he keeps replaying in his head, like that kid fear that, oh my God, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. So I think that's going over and over again.
Okay.
Kind of like that. Like, he's trying to, I think it's really the focus internally is like trying to get a handle on, like, no, it's just like the other things we fought. That giant fish. Giant fish is something terrifying. This is also terrifying. We can handle this. Let's go. But emotionally, that's not sunk in yet.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. All right, we are going to start our combat now. So if you want to turn to those cheat sheet pages, not to ruin the moment or anything.
You're good.
I am going to make it though, Dave. So you are gonna miss. You might have some problems at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is entirely logical to me.
Okay. All right. Will you go ahead and switch us to our
Yes.
screen?
It's been a while. Here we go.
It is. It has been a while. And don't forget that our hope pool has been our fellowship pool has been refreshed, replenished.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any of those words. I started on like 4 of them at the same time and ended up with a word that exists, but none of the ones I wanted. Excellent. So just keep that in mind for this fight. A couple of the things I want to remind you of, you can do a knockback. Like if you like go with the flow, if you get hit hard, you can like take a step back or take a knee basically and like do some pushback, and that halves the amount of fatigue that you take.
Okay.
But you do need to spend your next action like recovering from it. So it's not like you just jump back in the fight with your next one. So those are 2 things that might be helpful. Not that you're gonna need it.
Yeah, Aerlind yells into the dark. By the might of Olmo, face us, you fell creature.
So yes. So the 3 of you are all right. You cannot be ambushed, and actually, Runa, you know exactly where it is at. But not quite in time. So Hannar, it's going to actually appear, because you're all kind of like, I kind of pictured you, I think when we stopped last time I explained that you were kind of, all 3 of you back to back, kind of in the center of the room, kind of looking out. We're going to go ahead and take stances in a second. So I'm going to have it so that you spin around, Runa, just in time to see it. Like you hear it and you like, oh, and you spin just in time. And I'm going to give you 1 kind of action you can take.
Okay.
And it's basically, it's coming out of like the edge of the darkness. It does, and you can just barely see it. And it's headed towards Hannar.
Is it close enough for me to attack it?
It will be. So, but it will hit, if you wait for it to hit, like to get in your range, it will be close enough to injure Hannar.
Okay. I don't have anything ranged. Let's see.
What's your crazy position ability?
Let's see.
Intimidate?
Intimidate foe? Yeah. In forward stance. I guess I could try that. Or I could try warning Hannar.
Those are both options. I mean, you are also all standing back to back. You are very close to Hannar too, so.
Yeah. He's not, like, close enough for me to grab, is he?
No, I think, yeah, I'm picturing you all very close together. Like, you're in the middle of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of pictured you, like,
Yeah.
fighting stance within a step or a couple steps of each other, like in a circle facing outward.
Aerlind had slightly stepped away to look at everyone and then yell, knowing that he was possibly drawing it out to him. So he might be
A little
the
bit
most
farther.
away.
Okay. But I was kind of picturing you all like in a 6-foot little,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you're within a step or 2 of
Okay,
Hannar.
if I'm close enough to reach out and grab Hannar, then I'm going to, like, grab onto his armor and yank.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I can see that he's, like, he's a little frozen. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Athletic?
Yeah, I'm going to have you do roll athletics.
Okay. All right. Come on, athletics. You can do it.
Seriously?
What? I rolled favored and I got 2 11s.
Oh, yeah.
But I also got a Tengwar, and I Succeed? Yeah.
You succeed with a 1 because the 11 becomes a 1.
11, 6. I missed by 1. I got 13 and my number is 14.
Okay. We have this incredible moment where, like, you see the terror and it's going, and like Hannar's just kind of standing there, like not moving as much as he usually does. Like usually he's like ready for battle and he's kind of like shifting his stance, and he's like, but he's just kind of standing there and is like he's ready. His arms are up, but he's definitely not like the dwarven like battle like ready wall that you're used to. And there's like this moment of like kind of like strange silence, and it feels like time slows down a little bit for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost hear like a little bit of like laughing. Yeah. And I don't know if anyone else hears it, but it's for you basically. Like, I know you see me, but yeah, you also almost feel, and this is completely narrative because you rolled on 2 dice. You rolled 2 eyes.
Yeah.
There's just like this moment of even you feeling kind of powerless.
Yeah.
And you're not actually taking any
Okay.
like shadow or anything, but that's just like why the dice decided to roll that way.
Yeah, the dice said F you.
Yeah, the dice are like, nope, we're on the evil bear's side.
Rude.
Yes. And my friend Hannar. What's your parry rating?
18.
Oh, sorry. What's the? Yeah. Oh no, that's just for me. Never mind. Yeah, the armor. What's your armor thing?
The protection number? 40.
Okay. Oop. What's your TN?
For
To be hit. For
That's got to be
combat.
my parry number, so that's 18.
Okay. Okay, you're very lucky. We're gonna say though, like, doesn't cause any damage. It feels like when a cat is playing with a mouse, it doesn't want it to die yet. So you kind of get like knocked over. Not enough to hurt you, but you like, and it's just like, and then like it kind of just swoops past you really quickly, like laughing at you.
All right.
And then we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and pick our stances.
Forward stance forever.
Living my truth.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever.
I don't know why I made an editable document. We should have just had it.
Hey, the others have moved.
I changed my stance once, I think.
I
In one
haven't.
fight, one time.
Yeah, you could just mount me there.
Yeah.
This is the first fight I've moved.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're taking a defensive stance.
I'll take open.
Okay. And I feel like that's a big
Yeah.
thing for Hannar. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like protecting yourself more than you were like focusing on damage. All right. Just so you know, the parry is 3 for this creature. So you're going to add that to the number you have to hit. So so you have your TN, whatever that is, you add the 3 to it. So you have to beat that number then to hit it. All right.
I had a training montage.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have never hit it.
Yes. And we start with Aerlind.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Right?
Nope, I'm in the end.
And okay. You're right.
We would
last.
start with Aerlind if we had the surprise.
Yeah, if we had the surprise. That's
Yeah.
right. Thank you. I'm like, wait. Okay, so Runa, you're in the fight. You're in the battle. You know what's up.
Yeah, let me at that bear.
Okay.
I would like to use this new sword on that bear, please.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me find the thing.
Spicy
It
sword.
is so spicy. There's so much spice on this
I'm
sword.
gonna use a hope.
Okay, and it's a superior grievous keen sword.
Mm-hmm.
Superior fell. Bane to orcs and evil men. This is not either of those, unfortunately.
That's okay, but it does other stuff.
Yeah, it does.
I
Okay.
mean, it has a face of an evil man.
It does.
That's true.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
It's definitely not evil. Like,
Alright.
it's evil.
Dice behave
Definitely
yourselves.
not any type of humanoid being.
Okay.
It's a lot of dice.
I'm aware. Sometimes that doesn't help.
You realize we're not playing vampire, right? Just
Yes. No, this is just the number of dice I roll for sword.
Checking.
Okay, so I didn't get any sixes.
Okay.
Mine is, but I did get a 28.
Jesus.
Well, that hits. I'm assuming.
Hope
Yeah.
so.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
My target number is 14, so I doubled it.
Okay. So, that's a lot. Okay, so what? All right, we have to figure all this out. So, superior. Did you add up all your special things about it, or no?
So, I did, provided it has the same stats as a longsword. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm just adding the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So it does 7 damage.
Okay.
It's a 10. You get a piercing blow.
Oh, I get a piercing blow.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Or whatever fancy thing it does.
So it does 7 right off the bat.
That's 7 right off the bat, and then the 10 gives me what now?
I'll look at it. You
Oh,
keep
you
doing-
get to you get a piercing blow.
Okay,
So that means that you it's one of the special moves. Like, you usually pick double damage,
I do. Yeah.
but piercing blow is one of the options as well.
Okay.
on a piercing blow, rolling a 10 or a 12 on a feat die, you do a piercing blow, which is... You keep doing that. I think you roll against the parry for a wound.
Yes.
Okay. So I roll what?
Yeah, so for a piercing blow in the feet, the target must succeed in making a protection test to avoid a wound. So basically, you get to knock off a wound. And if you
Okay.
get 4 wounds on this thing, then you're done.
Awesome.
It's much faster than the slow
Endurance.
7 by 7 by 7 by 7.
Yeah.
All right.
So I roll what?
I think Kimi rolls.
Yes.
Oh,
I
you roll. Okay.
Yes. Target must
Against
succeed
my
a
28?
protection test. Yes, against the 28.
Love a high roll.
Die and
No, it's against the injury rating.
Oh, okay.
yeah, the injury
your
rating
sword.
on your sword.
of your sword.
Oh, okay. The injury rating for two-handed is 22.
Okay.
Oh.
Nope. Nope. It's like 19.
Oh, close.
You just got close. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If
I
I
think I used Malinteth's sword. 'Cause
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have
been
won.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I rolled like a 1 and like a 2. So it has a lot of armor. It's a tough bear thing. All right. Very good. All right. So you get a wound.
Yes.
And you also have
And
The 7.
damage.
oh man, that's gonna be a lot of math. I'm just gonna start a thing.
Not as much damage as I like, but I like that wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Liriel.
All right. Liriel's going to attack with
All
a
right.
sword. So that one's just swords, right? That I roll. Okay.
Plus your feet die.
Yeah. Plus
Oh.
the you always
plus
roll
the
the
feet dice, yeah. I made it. Nothing
Okay.
special, but
With the-
with the plus
Okay,
3.
Perfect. Okay. So what is the damage on your sword? Or for your thing?
Damage is 4.
Very good. Nice work. Hannar.
I think Hannar sort of like straightens himself up,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he is less concerned about directly attacking
Mm-hmm.
this time versus it is too dark in here, and that is to our disadvantage. I would like to try something. I'm going to run this past you.
Okay.
if there's a big nest of bones and stuff, there's likely a lot of dried, like, clothing remnants and stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to go try and light that on fire.
Okay. Yeah.
Burn it down.
Especially if it's been here for, like, hundreds of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none of it's super fresh.
Right.
And if there is, it's like one thing. Like it's been there long ass time. Yeah, absolutely. It is quite a distance away,
Sure.
but I will absolutely let you do that. I think it's going to probably take you 2 turns because I had described it
fine.
as sort of football field size.
Yeah. Like, he's
Yeah.
just going to start.
Yeah. Like it's definitely doable to do like a sprint towards it.
Yeah. But then sprint and light a fire. I get it. Totally.
Dwarven
That's
sprint.
completely fair.
I'm just picturing.
I can hear it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
clank, 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 like a
Like a
steam
train.
engine. Yeah.
Go ahead and make an athletics roll. If you make it with enough successes, I will let you take only 1 round for it.
Okay.
Like you're just going to be like the fastest dwarf ever.
Lucky.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
No,
No, okay.
Okay.
nothing bad. Just
Okay.
didn't make it.
Didn't, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was not something, you're not going to fail your running in a straight direction. Like,
Right. Yeah.
but
Oh, you've tripped and
Yeah.
now you're rolling around in the middle of the room. Oh well, that's the end of Hannar.
okay. Sorry, I'm way off tone with this tonight. I feel like I'm trying to like lift myself up because I was like started off by almost crying. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna be a little slapstick so I don't get too sad yet. Okay, and Aerlind.
So Aerlind has stepped away and sees it come out of the darkness at this point, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
And is going to run a few more steps just kind of to get the range and is going to shoot it.
Excellent.
I am going to do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to spend a hope to get a magical success.
Okay.
I'm going to double check the rules on this. We're being very rules good tonight, but I
I
know
believe for magical success, it's an automatic success, and you just roll the d6s to see the
Yes.
extent of how well it goes.
Oh yeah, I just rolled the d6s.
To see if you
Yes.
get any tingwars.
Yeah, because you automatically
For
succeed. with the
combat,
magic
though,
success.
the feat die matters so much is why I'm asking. Maybe it's only available on skills. Maybe that makes more sense.
Well, no, you automatically succeed. Like that's the thing. Like you get a success no matter what, so you don't need to roll the feat die.
But I
But-
need it for the piercing blow is the
Oh.
thing. That's why I'm like, maybe it's only for skill checks because I need...
Well, you can still spend the. Oh yeah.
on a
why
skill
don't you-
roll. On a skill roll. So I'm going to just
Got it,
spend it and
okay.
get the... no, I'm not going to spend it. I'm just going to roll. Sorry. Long walk. Oh. I don't make it. I should have taken
no.
that hope point.
Oh no. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't even make my own TN.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is shockingly fast for its size. And the way it's kind of jumping in and out of the light, it's like at the edge and there's like shadows bumping everywhere.
Well, I think he was caught off guard by how close it was.
Yeah.
And so he was running and turned to shoot, and it was just a little wild.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, the terror is like just it like the light's going out and it's kind of like airing towards the edge of the light, but it can like it's really big. So we're talking like probably like van size. So not bus, but like a van, like the full-size vans, not a minivan. Like
Sprinter van.
yeah. Like
That's a big.
yeah, the big ones, yeah. And it is big, and its head is like a little bit bigger than it should be. Like it's not exactly bear-shaped. And then its front hands are actually like somewhat hand-like. They're kind of furry, and they've got like huge claws. But even though the back and the hindquarters very much look like a bear, and the back legs and back feet look like a bear, kind of this face kind of like, and then it kind of goes into a fur, but then like it goes back down into like these strange like arm hand things,
Yucky.
which yeah,
Yeah, this is
Samantha's in love with this thing. Runa hates
Yucky
it.
smile.
But
literally.
Samantha's like, oh yeah, I like that.
It's cool.
So when it does kind of sit back on its haunches, it has like almost like large like troll ability to like reach out and grab because it's like really big. Hannar's run off. So the two of you are the ones who are actually closest to it right now. So Runa and Liriel. So right now it's going to try and claw at Liriel. One more dice.
Uh-huh.
I only have 4 dice. I rolled really well, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
A hit for sure.
Uh-huh.
At 27. Hits, yeah.
Jesus.
And there's 2 Tangors.
Oh,
No.
Ah!
So my 2 parry isn't going to do much of anything.
No, sorry about that.
Don't forget about the knockback thing.
Yeah, the knockback thing.
My male shirt.
So it is going to seize you. Then I'm spending one of my Tangwars on that. It's reached out and it's scratched you, so you take 5 damage, and it's like holding on to you,
Okay.
and it's not letting you move. So you are forced now to be in a forward stance, while it's holding on to you, and you can only make like brawling attacks.
Okay.
If you get a Tangwar, you can free yourself on your next roll.
Okay.
So just FYI on that. And
Uh-huh.
while it does that, it's also going to like it grabs you and scratches you. And I'm picturing that as like while it's holding you, its claws are just like digging in. So it's not like it scratched you and then grabbed you. It's just like it's going to like reach and bite at Runa
Okay.
with its head.
Human face.
Mm-hmm.
It goes.
Against endurance. 15.
All right.
So
Don't forget to mute yourselves if you're talking. Let's see. Oh, that one wasn't as good. 12, 16, 23.
My versus my parry is 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
16.
Woo.
No more than that.
I don't add anything to that, right? From my like armor or anything.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That is your armor.
Yeah.
Oh. Boo.
Yeah. Well, the armor only happens for the. I think we only had that in another time. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, strength. Yeah. All right, and it is going to. So you're going to take 6 damage.
See?
Um.
Ow.
Yeah. And you're going to it's actually going to do a heavy blow on you. So 6, 7, 8, so 9. 9 damage.
That's not ideal.
Oh my god.
Everything's fine.
Runa
Top of the round.
My turn?
Yep.
and Liriel.
Okay.
Also, don't forget, if you start to lose endurance, if you start getting low on endurance, you can start stripping off clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically armor. Clothes actually
not
won't help.
clothes.
Yeah. Good.
Unless you just get real weird when
Yeah.
you're getting hurt.
Maybe it's into that. Yeah. So many dice.
You don't want to give me any 6s this time? You jerk. Okay, but there is a lot of dice.
Okay.
So, let's see. 28 again.
Okay. Success.
And then with the 8, doesn't doesn't it boost your your piercing blow? Isn't that one of the things that this sword did? Just trying to keep it up because I don't want to die.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It adds +2, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's an 8.
It became
So that's a
8,
10.
9, 10. So it makes it a 10. Yeah.
Makes it a 10. So it's another piercing.
Another
blow.
piercing blow. Nice job. Woo! Okay.
I'm the piercing blow person here, so I'm like, let me.
Thank you. I only know how to do heavy blows.
I
so-
know.
Also, and you're adding your stuff for something over the might of 2, right? The super.
Yes.
Okay. Just make sure
Yeah,
you
I
do
roll favored against might too.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you were remembering that.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Excellent. All right. Next one.
Wait,
Liriel.
You gotta roll.
You gotta roll for
Oh, yeah, that's right.
injury.
That's right.
Take a fellowship point. Save yourself.
Oh, I did not roll very good. 17.
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Runa.
2 injuries on that bear.
Runa. Runa.
Wounds.
Runa.
Wounds.
Yeah.
Wounds.
Wounds are bad. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Liriel, you are forced to be in forward stance because you are being gripped
Right.
or seized is what they call it. Sorry. So you're in this giant bare hand thing.
Okay, so for a brawl, what am I rolling?
I believe it's attack.
I think it's just against
Yeah.
your strength.
Yeah, it's just against your strength.
Okay, so
You basically are attacking, but without a weapon, because you're basically it's like
so
it grabs your
athletics,
weapons.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and then fellowship point gives me
Gives you an extra D6.
Mhm.
Oh, you spend a hope point. We replenish your hope point with the fellowship point. So
Yeah.
you get a D6
Okay.
in summary.
Okay.
Please break free.
Right. Oh, so this means I get the extra. Yes. Okay. Wait, no, I don't. I rolled a 12 on my feet die.
Oh, okay.
I
Amazing.
rolled a tanguar,
Amazing.
and then 4 more on top of that.
Okay. So you automatic success because you got a 12.
22 total.
So amazing. And if you'd like, you can spend that Tanguar to break free.
Yes.
Okay.
So I shield bash it against the knuckle, and like
Yeah.
you hear a crack.
Oh, ow.
Yeah.
This thing's evil. It deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is surprised. It has probably been like eons since this creature's fought, one of the, children of the light. And like, you are a badass warrior. This is what you do. You fight these beings of shadow. And it obviously is a little bit rusty. It's really good at scaring dwarves who've been predisposed to
Right.
hear it forever. But like, you're like, oh no, I'm not having any of this. And you just like,
Grab me,
Yeah.
will ya?
exactly. And you are free. And you can now choose. And for this next round, you can choose any stance you'd like again.
Okay.
Hannar, you are still running.
So, as I approach the pile, I think the faster way to do this is not going to be to stop and hold the torch on it a while, but I think Hannar like pulls his multicolored coat that he's always worn off and lights it, and then pitches it into the pile.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make that just work because it's yeah.
I think like it's like Hannar is like, I'm not just going to be the traveling merchant anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to fight. So let's do this.
Yeah,
Right.
but there's
So,
like a
yeah.
lot of symbolism and narrative
Yeah.
important of that. So I'm just gonna say yes, that succeeds absolutely. And in this moment, I'd like for you to roll. You're gonna have a success no matter what. Like you're going to get some information.
Okay.
But I want you to roll lore for me, please.
Oh, all right. Oh, there it is.
Kimmy, you got my 7 damage from my turn, right?
No, I
In
didn't.
addition
Thank you. I'm
to
glad you remembered.
injury.
Yeah.
Harm.
Hey,
All
hey,
the
all
harm.
right. I made it, and I got a Tanguar.
Okay.
Yay.
So as you throw your burning, beautiful coat onto the fire, or onto this pyre of things, and it starts burning, it starts lighting up this room, and you realize you have seen this room before. And you realize that the Palantir has been in this room before.
I see.
And that it must have been covered like on its way in and on its way out, but at some point the Palantir was uncovered here before it was lost in the sea. Which is true.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I see.
uh-huh. So, and suddenly you have a much greater knowledge of the layout of this room specifically. Now things have changed a little bit from your memory of it because there's giant piles of bones and shit now.
And not furniture, right?
Yeah. But you are like, okay, I know exactly how many columns there are here. I know exactly the way people used to come in and out of this room. So you're going to have, we'll give you an extra die to your rolls when you're like using the room kind of to your advantage if you're using pillars and stuff like that.
Nice.
I dig it. All right.
Yeah. And basically it's because Arvindui had 2 Palantir, and one of them was the one, and they both were lost at sea. So the Palantir was eventually swallowed by a fish, but it was here before it was there.
I see.
Love that.
Huh.
Go Kimi.
Amazing.
Yeah. Smoke the... Well, that lore gun, it's still smoking.
All right. Very proud of that. Okay, continuing.
I'm going to spend a hope.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll better. I'm going to hope that I roll better. I'm going to roll into my try. I don't succeed.
Okay. What is it about this creature and what, and in this particular situation that is kind of throwing Aerlind off their game?
I think he's still the boldness that came out of him, the desire to fight back against the dark, having spent all this time hearing the stories of this creature, wanting to stand up for the dwarves and specifically for Hannar. I think that the adrenaline is still pumping so fiercely that his hand is unsteady and he's literally like trembling because I think that the fear is still in there underneath all of that.
Yeah.
Because this is the scariest thing he's ever faced.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, and the foe. So it just had its hand. It kind of like pulls its hand. I'm gonna keep using hand, but it's sort of a weird combo.
Yeah.
Back after you knock it out, and it kind of hisses, and it like just says what is very clearly some sort of insult to the elves in the black speech. And then it's going to like kind of get distracted when like this fire starts burning, and there's no hope even if you burn the whole mountain to the ground, dwarf. You've seen me in your nightmares. You know it's too late. And it kind of echoes back. Those of you who saw like the ghost from the original birdcage, like that ghost just kept saying that over and over again. It's too late. And you see now kind of where that saying came from. This beast must have said it to all these its victims here while they were trapped, slowly just picking them off. And it's going to turn, and it is going to it's going to actually bite at Liriel because it's mad that you hit it. That's not very good. I rolled 3 1s.
Ooh,
Yes.
stop.
It's on your side.
I know. I still know that pain.
17
17.
against your parry.
My parry. My parry's 2. So.
No.
15 is the base plus
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
So,
right.
17.
17.
Okay. I think tie goes to me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems right.
So it is not going to get any extra stuff, though, so you just take 6 damage. So against your endurance. And it's going to swipe. Runa's the only one who's close enough still. Sorry, Runa.
That's all right. I knew this was my life.
Runa's also been wrecking up on this.
Yeah.
It would be legitimately big mad.
Bear shish kebab.
Oh, I rolled a Gandalf run.
Oh, none
Which
for
is
you.
good for
yeah.
good since
good for
I'm yeah
me.
that for evil creatures counts as a 1. Like the Eye of Sauron counts for all of you, so that's a 1. So let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
My parry's 16.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
So close.
still.
It happens.
Yes. So, but it didn't get any extras, so it's just 5.
Okay. Okay.
How you doing?
It's not ideal, but I'm here.
You make it out of this, Hannar's definitely taking you back home to get better armor.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Dad, fix this.
Please.
Oh yes, it is your turn, Runa.
Uh-huh. All right. We're just trucking. It's a good thing I'm so hopeful because I'm trucking through these hope points.
Yeah,
Because,
I'm doing the same thing now.
no, thank you, Bear. Okay, let me make sure I'm rolling the right number of dice. Plus 1. Favored. Okay. Do a good job. Okay.
Ooh.
Not you. I got 1 6.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 15, 18, 26 this time. With 1 Tangwar.
All right. Yeah, that hits
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
You could do it again.
I'm gonna use it for a piercing.
Okay. Let's see.
Runa. This is why we weren't going without you.
Right. It's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Wait, 6. Someone put a sticker on this die. I think that's the 6. Okay. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Nope.
Nope.
22.
Runa.
3 injuries, baby.
Okay, well.
Plus 7 damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Runa's just wrecking this thing. She's like,
Thank you, Malinteth.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Malinteth.
Malinteth.
I don't know why all of you. Yeah, it is like Malinteth. Like,
I thought that
I
this fight
told
would
his
go on
corpse I
forever.
would get him revenge.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
crying.
So as you slice at it, again, the creatures, I know the bite of this weapon. And it like hisses.
As she slices at it, I think she heard what it said,
Mm.
and she's like, "There's always time."
Nice. I'm going to give you another hope point. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
Take that. And I'm going to give you a hope point also for your vision, Hannar.
Oh, all right.
So, like you...
Well, I
yeah.
mean, I'm full, but
Okay.
it's fine.
Save it, because you can spend it. I'll give
Okay,
it for this
all right.
fight. It's fine. It is only good for this fight.
Cool. I was planning to use one next round anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect.
Great.
But yeah, I want you to have some sort of a little bit, like you're getting an extra die, but... Oh yeah, I did give you an extra die, but it'll be fine. All right.
That's right.
I'm last.
So yeah.
Get some.
Next is
Liriel.
Liriel. Did you want to change your
Oh, yeah,
stance,
you
or are
can
you still
change
in
if you
forward
want.
stance? I forgot to ask.
I think I'll still be on forward.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to attack this thing. Okay, so
That does give you an extra die on your
Move
attack.
forward.
my extra...
D6.
next-
Yeah.
Extra d6, yeah.
Ooh.
That's not good. I rolled a 1 on the feet die.
Okay.
Okay, and then so...
That does not mean you fail. It just means it only counts as a 1. It might mean you fail.
No, I
Okay.
failed.
Yeah. Rolling like me now.
Yeah.
It has to get out of their system, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start rolling good one of these days.
So we'll just say that you're still a little bit like recovering.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it really kind of like crunched you a little bit. So you're just kind of like trying to get back in the groove of it. All right. And Aerlind. Oh, Hannar.
Hannar.
All right.
We'll say that I want you in the fight. Come back. You're back.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a plan.
Okay.
Like it's just a charge. Like it's a full charge attack.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
so
Yes.
Yeah. I think like he didn't even really stop at the bonfire. Like he threw the coat and it ignited, and he just kind of
Okay.
made a curve
I
around.
love it.
So I think like running up, he's kind of coming up behind the thing, right? Because it's facing off against everybody
Yeah.
that was back there. So he's running up behind it, and I think he probably, like, after it said what it said, I think he probably said, the dwarves were made of this mountain. I personally have been here before. You're the one that's late. And I will, let's
Nice.
see.
Now, are you? That to me, that sounds like you're in forward stance.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm rolling one less die than I should because I was still defensive.
You want to be defensive. Okay,
Like,
that's what I meant.
I'll change it up for next round.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah.
fine. Okay,
I figured like the whole run and the charge and all that.
That makes
like,
sense.
He didn't have time
Yeah.
to really.
yeah,
Yeah. But he's angry about it now.
yeah, and that's
It's a hell of a way to be
Yeah.
angry.
Let's deal with an angry dwarf.
Oh, what kind of? I got a Gandalf,
okay.
and and I made it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to roll 6 d6s.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 ones.
What the hell?
You're a little tired. That's a long run for dwarf.
It was a long. It's a little winded.
Sprinted.
So it's 5 damage.
Okay.
But the Gandalf counts as a piercing blow, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you can spend it on a piercing blow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
all
you're
right.
right.
For sure.
Yep.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Let me roll against it.
Hannar.
20 is mine.
Hannar.
Because I didn't get the fancy double version weapon.
Let's see. 10. 17.
Revenge of the Dwarf.
Dwarf.
All right. Well, there goes the thing.
Hey, it tried real good.
So we're gonna have so we're gonna have like that kind of be the last, like, you don't get like the perfect blow, but it
It's
but you,
ugly but bad.
it's just like this like slice down the side of this creature, and in fact it almost for a moment it doesn't seem like it realizes it's met its end. It like spins around and this filthy dirt dwarf, and then it kind of gasps for a second, and then like you see like its eyes like widen a little bit, and then you almost like its eyes kind of like, you can't tell, like it seems like they unfocus even though you can't exactly tell where it's focusing, and then it's just like, no, not to them, not like this. And then it kind of like slumps over. And then you can just kind of see it kind of like sink, and it's not breathing, and it's just laying there.
I think partially out of just being knocked around a bit and just feeling that darkness leave, Liriel just starts laughing. And you guys haven't heard her laugh this hard. And she's like, what a good fight.
I think Runa walks over to it and hefts Malinteth's sword. She goes for Malinteth and all of those that you killed and hacks off its head.
Yes, absolutely.
Aerlind just walks up behind Hannar and clasps a hand on his back. You honor your people today.
I would not have made it this far without all of you. And I think he's like in that like coming down from adrenaline, sort of like a little bit shaky, but he's trying to hide it from everybody. Kind of like he's put the axe down and he's kind of leaning on it like he did when we walked into the dwarven city, and he's kind of like, all right.
We should burn this. This should.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Should we just throw it onto the pyre?
Yeah, it's already there.
It's already started.
Yeah. there's a
Convenient.
Yeah.
I think I would take claws.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
see about taking it home and attaching them to the axe.
Okay.
Are we taking the head?
I think we should take the head to Glorfindel.
Yeah.
Sure.
He'd be very pleased with
Yeah.
that.
With
Yeah.
the horrible teeth.
So there is still a ton of this mine that you have not seen if you want to continue exploring. There's also a lot of treasure sitting around this room. So there are many avenues, obviously.
It's not like I'm not gonna sift through this treasure in
Okay.
this room.
All right, so the treasure trove. So basically you've earned a... Yeah.
Does the place just feel better? Like,
Yes.
almost immediately, like
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
gets the feeling of like, oh yeah, okay, it's not so bad here.
Yeah, the oppressive presence that is
Yeah, okay.
part of the shadow is absolutely kind of lifted, and still like physically nothing has changed about the space. The same amount of light, the same amount of shadows bouncing around. You still can't see the ceiling with your torchlight. All these things, but it's just like you no longer feel like mice in a trap.
Mm-hmm.
You now feel like, okay, this is like what we're kind of used to exploring, old places. It's a little bit exciting, like that while a lot of like sad things happen here, this is also a very storied place of legends. So there's a lot of like, interesting things here as well.
Notebook out.
Aerlind's taking notes, things like that. And you are starting to be able to see as the fire is getting bigger and bigger, like, oh, okay, we can start seeing the ceiling now and things like that. And you actually see in the ceiling there are carvings that the dwarves must have done. It's worn away, but it seems like that might have been one of the things that escaped when the sea flowed in thousands of years ago.
Oh wow.
So there's this incredibly beautifully carved ceiling that looks very clearly is dwarven work. And it reminds you kind of what you saw in the Tower Celebrimbor built with them. And like very geometric, but very different from like modern dwarven work in a lot of ways. Like you can very clearly look at it and be like, oh, like that is like the original kind of style that eventually grew into like this neo-dwarven style.
I think to light it up clearer, because Aerlind, I think just sees glimmers of it in the firelight, takes an arrow, wraps it in some of the rags, lights it on fire, and finds a point with like moss or something, and shoots the ceiling so that it all lights up.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And you can see now like there's clearly like gems embedded in it, and like pieces of different colors of metal, and it's just it's starting to kind of refract.
There you go.
Thank you. Got it. The light about too, and you can just see, even though it's like a shadow of how splendid it was at one point, like you can just see, and it tells actually of the creation of the dwarves by Ulmo, and then how Iluvatar actually brought them to life. And so it's just like this incredible piece of artwork that is probably the most priceless thing, especially to
Yeah.
historians and Aerlind and things like that in this place, despite the like treasure laying all over the ground.
I think
I tell Hannar, you should sketch this.
You're right. Yeah.
I think
This is legacy.
seeing it all light up, Aerlind just starts to cry. The dwarves have been such a mystery to him, and over the last couple days, going to Hannar's home and seeing it all light up, it was just kind of the punctuation at the end of this experience, because all he's wanted, literally from character gen, was to understand the dwarves.
Yeah.
And seeing this final piece and seeing both their sorrow in this place and the brilliance of what they can be, it sinks in finally. And he just sees Hannar go to start to sketch it and smiles, but is overwhelmed.
Are you looking at the ceiling, Runa? Or are you starting to sift through the treasure?
Do it.
I think she
that's
will
so
look
cool.
at the ceiling once she's like, what's in this?
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff to look at in here.
Yes.
This is sort of my job.
All right. So this is a lesser hoard of treasure. And there's gold, there's jewelry, clasps, and other like metallic remnants here. There's no sign of any like specific coins.
Okay.
It seems like the king was not worried about bringing actual money with him. He was trying to save like treasures. Like these are the things that meant the most. And it's clear that the things that were like the most valuable, the palantir and things like that he did take with him. So these were the things that were nice enough to start the trip, not nice enough to finish the trip.
Sure.
But yeah, it's still worth like what most treasure hunters would ever make in many lifetimes. There's more than enough for you all to share whatever it is, if you have any interest in it. And yeah, you're gonna be fine.
I think she's first looking for like objects of like historical significance, if there are any, and then just like the most valuable things that will be the most useful in like getting money into the hands of people that need it.
Yeah. It becomes clear like the sword is one of the most, and just because of it's very superior make. It is from a time when like humans had much better technology than they do now. So it's just like it's of a make that even the most talented of human smiths for a king could probably not make at this point. And it is also has like the blessing of this fallen knight on it.
Yeah,
so
that's for me. I'm keeping that.
Yeah. But we will be looking up a bit about this lesser hoard in a minute.
Yeah.
I do need to find the chart for that. But here we go. Treasure index. We will have specific artifacts that each one of you are going to have.
Cool.
So you're each going to get to roll.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah. So you're each going to get an item. So you're going to roll 1 success die, and you get to roll your feat die twice.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on just a second. Let me make sure I do this right. I'm going to also, let's have you roll feat die twice. I don't understand.
So like 2d12s.
Like, favorite, or are we adding them?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure that out.
Fair.
I probably
All
should have
good.
looked at this beforehand, but that's fine.
That's okay. We weren't
Honestly,
sure.
I'm pretty shocked we all survived. So.
Me too.
Yeah, honestly.
I was
Yep.
expecting it to.
The wounds were a
Very
game
drawn out.
changer, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Absolutely.
Like, I was like, oh, it had so many hit points left. I was like, oh, it's going to take a while. All right, so you're going to roll. Let's see. You roll 1 to 3 success dice indicated, so you get 1, and multiply the result by the number of heroes in the company. This value in treasure points represents the unspecified amount of silver, gold, or gems. For more specificity, use the precious objects table. Okay, so you each get 1 success die times the number of heroes in the company, so 4.
Oh, so you roll 4?
No, you roll
One-
1 success die and you multiply it times
Oh.
4.
Oh, okay.
6
Runa.
times 4. Okay.
24.
4.
4. Okay. So 4 times 4.
Oh, God.
16.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also got 4.
I also got
Okay.
4.
Okay. So
Oh,
all of you get 16. So that is.
We were all busy looking at the ceiling while Runa pocketed a couple of things.
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah. Basically, that's the treasure points. So that's how many treasure points you get in gold, silver, and gems. Since this is our last session, you don't really have to worry about exact treasure points. You get a whole lot of cash. Runa, you get like a whole lot. You're the first one to start sifting through stuff, so you probably get like a little bit better stuff. And it's going to go to a good cause.
Yeah, I'm not keeping it.
Yes.
Well, I'm keeping track. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after the company does its share of the treasure, roll feat dice to determine if anything of exceptional quality was found. magical treasure. I'm just gonna say that each of you will get one.
So 1 feat die or
No. I just want to say like you get like
You
this
all
is our
get a
kind of
magical
you
treasure.
each get a magical item. So I'm going to have you roll a d6.
One more time.
4.
Okay, and I am going to have you roll a feat die just to see if any of you roll an eye.
Get in there.
Nope.
No.
I'm gonna take that as a Gandalf.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. Then you're fine. So you rolled a 4.
I got a 1 this
Oh, 1. No. Okay. So you get a
I get-
marvelous artifact.
Okay.
You said you got
3.
a 3. Okay. So you also get a marvelous artifact.
Marvelous artifact.
Marvelous artifact.
4.
Wondrous item.
Wondrous item.
Yes. So you get marvelous artifacts are objects graced with a single blessing, and a wondrous item has 2 blessings.
2 blessings.
Yes.
Neat. Awesome.
So we'll go with each one by one now. Let's start with Hannar. I'd like for you to roll
Oh,
1d6.
here we go. A 6.
Oh,
You get a ring.
Oh,
That's never ended badly in Middle Earth.
ever.
Roll
fine.
it. Roll it
Probably
again.
It's fine. Another D6?
Yeah.
Okay. A 3.
With a ruby in it.
Okay.
And roll it again.
Hold on, let me write this so I don't forget. Okay. A 4.
It is dwarven from Erebor. So that's
Cool.
yeah. So it is a dwarven ring with a ruby in it.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be?
And please roll it one more time to figure out what
All right.
blessing you've got.
A 4.
A 4? Okay. And you have to roll it one more time. Sorry.
A 1.
Hunting.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I love that.
Why not?
From our very first episode, where Hannar was like, I'm going hunting. Where are you, animals?
Come at me.
Don't be scared.
That's perfect.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, you have now hunted down through the course of many sessions and killed one of the most fell shadow creatures in existence.
That's
so
totally fair.
yeah.
That was
Amazing.
delightful.
And it just seems that you happen to find a ancient ring of dwarven make with a red ruby that blesses you for your hunting. All right, you're gonna roll the d6 so many times. Okay, next one, Liriel. Please roll a d6.
3.
It is a necklace. Roll it again
4.
with an amethyst.
Ooh.
2.
It is elven.
Crazy.
And 5.
In Eragion, it is of a Eragion make,
Oh,
which
cool.
is a big deal. No, sorry, that was from the dwarven thing, or the elf thing. So wait, go back. Wait, no,
5.
you're ahead of me. 5. It's a 5.
Sorry,
It's a. Oh, okay. Special. So roll it one more time.
Oh.
3.
A song. So it gives you a blessing to song.
Hmm.
So for
Cool.
yeah, which is one of your skills. So beautiful.
All right.
So yeah, you have this beautiful necklace with an amethyst in it that is very clearly ancient elven make. It was probably given as a gift in ancient times.
Fingers crossed.
Chat's already like, Runa's gonna get another sword. She's gonna be carrying 4 swords.
Swords on swords on swords.
Just all swords.
This awkward vest that has sword hilts and then just sticks out like
Yeah.
She just has like a peacock tail of swords.
Yeah, like
Just,
hide.
like
on the
dragonfly
back.
wings of swords.
All right, very
Oh.
good. Aerlind.
Okay. First roll.
Okay.
A 5.
A 5. It is a belt chain or armband. What would you like it to be of those?
I think it's a belt.
Okay.
All right. 3.
With a ruby.
Okay. 3.
Dwarven from Khazad-dûm.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, and
2.
it will help your movement. So roll it one more time.
Okay. 2.
Athletics.
Nice.
I cannot be hindered.
Yes. Very good. And
All right, let's see what the dice
Runa
say.
back.
4.
A 4. So you get a circlet or crown.
Ooh. I feel like she's more crown than circlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so badass.
It's not a sword, but I'll take it.
Mhm.
4.
With an amethyst as well.
Mm.
I love we have
We're matchy, yeah.
2 rubies and 2 amethysts.
3.
That is also made by the dwarves of Khazad-dûm.
Ooh. 4.
4. Okay, so it will help your survival.
Awesome. I need that. 1.
You're hunting.
Unstoppable.
And so you also, since you rolled for wondrous item, you get to roll again for blessings. So roll the
Okay.
d6 again.
4.
Okay, also survival.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Roll it again.
1 again.
Hunting twice.
2. Double hunting.
Double hunting.
Unstoppable.
I'm the king of hunting now.
Yeah.
She's not even looking at you.
So we're gonna say your crown does have like an element to it that sort of does look like antlers a little bit that are kind of like in the design, not like predominantly, but just like the little like points of the crown just a little bit, or like a little wild, and it does
I
seem
like
to be
it.
some sort of magical item that does that. So all right, and yes, so that is what you have in this room. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
+2 to hunting.
yes. So what would you like to do? Would you like to, like, why don't we have a conversation about what happens? Hannar, do you want to explain to your friends what you mean by you've been here before?
Oh,
Yes, I would.
So we're gonna say that this is happening while you're
Right.
Yeah, we're all sitting there like, okay,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
for you, one for me.
Only D6s
Yeah.
for some reason.
I think Hannar goes from like, I saw this place through that palantir. It must have been here at some point.
Interesting.
At some point before, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but my vision, like, the carvings came all the way down the pillars, and like everything was born.
No, it was not in splendor. Like the dwarves had already been wiped out long before.
Oh, okay.
So, but there wasn't. So it was still very aged. The ocean had already been through and
Oh, okay.
wiped a lot of it out.
Valerian's still
Very
gone.
good.
Yeah. So, but the bones weren't here, and they hadn't more than one torch, so they were kind of able to see it better. So that's
Sure. Okay. Cool. So, well, I probably saw the humans.
Oh, you absolutely did.
Yeah. So,
And,
like,
yeah,
the
King Arvindui.
the kingdom that fled here, they must have had it with them, because I saw them here
Oh,
before the terror came.
the king had it.
I assume.
Fascinating. And yet it ended up in the sea.
Well, many things have wound up in the sea. These caves could go deep enough that they connect to the sea.
Perhaps
It's
the
just
sea had to go
knolls.
somewhere. It came through here once.
That's true.
And I think at some point someone already explained to you what happened. That Arvindui eventually did make it out of the caves, but a lot of they were lost at sea, and basically what happened as they were fleeing.
But it. Would I have seen the other Palantir that he had?
They probably wouldn't have used both at the same time, and they would have kept them kind of covered.
Okay.
So, the one you have is smaller. You probably saw. The other one is very large. Like it's like almost boulder sized, actually. So it was because they weren't all the same sizes. So the one you got was like basketball sized. You probably would have seen covered like a spherical object that was probably a little smaller than like a coffee table. So yeah, it was very large.
So he had he accrued most of these objects, but he had something else also that was much, much larger. Doesn't appear to be here any longer, but he may have fled with it and it was lost to time as well.
Well, this is one less mystery lost to time. Agmar has fallen a long time ago, and this is the ending of that. Finally. I'm sure the Glorfindel will be relieved.
Indeed. It's hard to imagine anything else still lurking about. Yes. Oh.
This place does feel a great bit lighter
Oh, yes.
for that thing having fallen.
If you all wouldn't mind, I would tell my people
Oh, absolutely. They
that
should
this
know.
is here and seemingly free of the greatest peril now.
Well, should we, since we're here,
Look around?
look around a bit?
I wouldn't mind. Runa, you don't want to look around, do you?
No, you know I hate this sort of thing. I think I can muster the energy to look around.
Roll sarcasm. No. How are you doing physically, Runa?
She's a little tired.
Okay.
I'm less than half of my endurance.
Okay.
Well, I can help. I'm sorry. I, out of character, totally didn't think about that. Like, if we were sitting around,
Yeah.
like, splitting
Yeah,
up
yeah.
treasure, I wouldn't have been like, oh, you
Yeah.
look pretty messed up. Like, figure it out.
Give me that ring.
Walk it off.
Why not, Runa?
Yeah.
I feel like that generally is her style.
Sure. But, like, I would offer, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
can I help? Or at least see if I can?
Sure. I wouldn't mind a bit of patching up.
You know
I
what?
did get a pretty good chomp in.
I think I know Middle Earth isn't a place that has like germ theory, but like I think Hannar would be a little worried about that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if it bit you, like,
Creature of darkness.
is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened to
Yeah.
Calameldon.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
geez.
absolutely.
Holy cow! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
and he left,
Yeah,
Presumably.
God.
presumably with the ring that lets people sleep in
Yeah.
stasis. So, I totally made it for a healing.
Awesome.
With a hope. Hold on.
Nice.
Yeah, I think kind of while we've been looking through treasure and stuff, Runa has just been like, yeah, I'll deal with this later. And then as soon as Aerlind brings up going to look around, she's like, yes. Oh, we should probably do something about this. And points to like
Oh, sure.
a bite. Could use a bit of help with this before we start wandering.
And I'm
Yeah,
only,
doing good.
I don't know, a little banged up, I guess. I mean,
I would still offer to help.
okay,
For
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll
So
take it.
Hannar made his healing roll
Perfect.
to help me. What is that?
What did I do?
I don't remember.
It's been so long.
Yes.
Hold on.
I think, is that on the cheat sheet? I thought that was on the cheat sheet.
While you're healing people, Aerlind looks very sheepish. He took no damage. Again.
First aid. When wounded, the die roll for severe. Oh, you're not wounded.
No.
Yep.
Just the fatigue endurance.
Yeah, I don't think like unless you're actually like
Took a piercing blow. kind
yeah,
of
I think
wound.
unless you're
Oh,
wounded,
okay.
I think it just kind of is like
Oh, okay.
I'm still doing it.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Whether it's
Narratively, we should probably patch up. But I think we have to like actually rest for a bit before the endurance comes back.
I think Aerlind offers to carry anyone's stuff if they're like wounded enough that it would be a problem.
well, like we already have too much to carry out of here.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So like we can.
I feel like we can make a pile. Nobody's gonna like come in and take it.
No, I mean
We can
it's
also
been here
just
for.
stay here.
Well, I can go back and get help
Well, yeah.
from home to transport things. Like that wouldn't be a problem, and it's not far. But oh, you even got way more healed than Runa because I got 2 Tengwars. So
Nice.
Oh, wow.
mark my hope.
Today.
So I mean, after we look around and explore the place, I'm happy to. If you all want to make camp here, I can
And
head
we
back home and
we don't need to go into the details of that. We're gonna say like
Well,
that can
right,
be
right.
our explanation, but we don't need to spend game time on like going and getting people
the
to come
exact.
back.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying narratively,
Yes.
like in one sentence or less.
Yeah.
You guys can hang out here. I'll go get help and ponies and come back and we can retrieve this stuff.
Yeah.
Stay with us to look around first.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And Hannar, you did a sketch of the ceiling, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and it is after a bit fairly foul smelling in this
What,
large
burning this thing smells bad?
yeah.
Oily creature of darkness
Yeah,
in an enclosed space.
Not the best air freshener, but yes, but you do kind of like sort through things, and you can tell there's like chests and stuff around that can expedite taking things out if you want to. And did you want to continue exploring? What would you like to do?
I think yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay. So you're in this huge hallway. There are multiple rooms on each side, and there's also like if you don't have to go into all the rooms and the hallways, but they each have also a long hallway that is clearly not going to just a room that's on the outside there. So it's hard to tell if you when you peek in these rooms what they were, because all the furniture's obviously long gone. They probably were serving rooms. One of them is really large. It seems like it probably was some sort of kitchen or meal or food preparation of some sort, just from the size of it, and the fact that there are still like some large stone structures in the center that look like they were for like roasting meats or something like that. And then each long side of the hallway, because it is a very large like rectangle shape, has an actual hallway that goes like beyond to tunnels beyond.
Okay.
Lots of notes are taken.
Mm-hmm. Map drawn.
Who has the graph paper?
Yeah.
It's Aerlind.
Yeah, always Aerlind.
Is there anything similar back home?
It has because you've kind of like reclaimed an old like city like this.
Sure.
So the layout is very familiar feeling.
Okay.
So you're like, oh yeah, that would there's.
I didn't know if like we took back the dwarven equivalent of like a small town.
I mean, it
And
is a
this
little
is
bit
like
smaller.
the capital.
Yeah, it is
kind
a
of.
little bit smaller, but it still feels really familiar. It is something that, like, even this in modern, like, dwarven architecture, this is kind of how it went. Like, even if you went to a modern dwarven establishment or city, capital city, that wasn't from 6,000 years ago, like, kind of the same sort of things have been passed down. It served a purpose, and it was like this way culturally, so it hasn't
Sure.
shifted a whole lot.
And like the grandest of the currently inhabited dwarven settlements is the Lonely Mountain, right?
Probably.
At this point?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Isn't
Well,
Moria's still occupied technically?
Well, right
it's,
now, like,
it's not,
historically
but
now,
nobody
like,
knows that.
Yeah.
Valen went back there to be like, we'll take care of
Yeah,
cleaning it all up.
He's still there. It is grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
we
no
don't
one's
know.
going there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is more on that scale, is what I mean.
Yes, it's much more on that scale. But and this you can much more on that sort of scale, especially after seeing that ceiling, which honestly in its like original glory probably would have outshone even the originals of the Lonely Mountain. Maybe not Khazad-dûm, but it would have been like a precursor to
Sure.
seeing it. So, do you want to go to the left or to the right?
I think like a hedge maze, maybe just stick to the right wall.
Okay.
That seems smart. Erlin's just following because his face is mostly
Can
in
I
a book.
try an insight roll to see what would be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good at it, but maybe. Well, no, I didn't make it, but
Okay.
it was worth a try.
Yeah,
Give it
absolutely.
a college try.
So you want to go to the right?
Sure. Until we can't anymore.
Okay. You actually go down a long, fairly small hallway. This is clearly more utilitarian than it is like, it's not like the grand hallway you walked down to get to the thing. And you find what is basically like a small round wall with a huge hole down the middle that is very clearly a well that's been dug. And it is beautifully made, and it actually has like this one pinpoint of light similar to what you saw in Hannar's city that has actually been drilled through the mountain to bring light to this room and to this well specifically.
Cool. Are any of the fittings for like drawing water still there, or is that all gone too?
It looks like the actual like crank and things like that to drop a bucket down are long gone.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, the ocean washed all
Yeah, the
those
ocean
away
took
a
it all.
long time ago. But you can if you drop something down, you can hear a splash.
No, I know what that does.
And if do you put a torch in it? Do you look down it? What do you do?
I mean, I'd look from the top. I'm not dropping my torch down.
No.
No.
But if you shine your torch down, you do see a glint of gold down. There's one on the floor, like it's like been embedded in the floor either by time or by design. There's like an old dwarven coin there, and then when you kind of shine the light over the well itself, you see at the bottom, you just see like a glint of a bunch of gold down at the bottom of the well.
Erlin's gonna light an arrow. Literally
Sure.
wrap another one, put it over Hannar's torch, and shoot it down there. Just to see how gold it
Yes. Let's see. There is a lot of gold down there. And this, from the looks of it, is like dwarven gold. This is not Arvin Dewey's
No.
like leftovers. This is like some dwarves maybe knew the end was coming and decided to see if they could save stuff and dumped it in the well or something.
Let's save a place. Who's going to raid a well?
Yeah.
Does it look like coins or objects or both?
A little bit of both.
Ooh.
How much rope do we have?
How far down? The question
How
is
far down is it? Hold on. And how wide is the well?
It's a pretty large well.
Okay.
Like we're not talking like
Single bucket.
this is what they were drawing water from for like this great hall.
Okay.
So there were multiple people. There was probably at one time like a contraption with multiple buckets. Different people would be dropping down.
Cool.
It is very deep because they wanted very clear, cold water. It is very full of water now, though. Because if you were to taste it, there would be a salt component to it because as the oceans washed in, it filled
it's stuck
this.
here,
And the water level in this whole area is a lot higher than it would be in normal caves of the mountain, just because a lot of the sea water is still around.
So how far below the surface of the water is this gold?
It's hard to tell. But it seems like it's something that you could probably do with, like it's not impossible.
Okay.
Like you looking down, you're like, I could probably make that.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a good swimmer.
Yeah.
I am not.
No, you should not go in the water. We've gone over this many times.
I will
Swimming
happily hold a rope.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I would say
Athletics?
is it seems like a lot, which we already have. It seems like this should go to the dwarves.
That's my thought as well, actually.
And with the ingenuity of the dwarves, with machinery and such, they might be able to figure out a way to get it out without endangering anyone.
And
That's fair.
perhaps begin to rebuild the dwarves in Eredluin. This is a bounty.
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna just read. Like, I don't usually read from the book that I'm stealing things from for our adventure, but similar to when you got that sword, Runa, it says recovering the treasure will be a challenge. The adventurer could dive for it a few handfuls at a time, or a cunning dwarf could doubtless drain the well with months of labor. So
There we go.
There we go. That is beautiful. You didn't buy the book, did you guys? You didn't say. Okay, I don't actually care if you did, but
I think you're reading my book. Like,
okay. Yes,
so
I
no,
know you bought it, but I've had it since we started this campaign. So
and I have not read it.
I know you haven't read it because it's been in my house. But that's so perfect. Okay,
It is
awesome.
marked on the grid paper.
Yeah.
Dig
Sure,
here.
Yeah.
Delve here.
Were Runa less tired, she would absolutely jump in there and start swimming around looking at stuff, but got
Yeah.
chomped on a little bit.
Oh,
Tired.
Tai.
Also, the prospect of jumping into salt water when you're wounded,
Oh,
Probably a bad idea.
not the most pleasant
Yeah.
moment ever. So,
also really old salt water.
yeah, it's probably a lot of
Brackish.
Yeah, very.
Not-
brackish.
not
It's not even.
Fresh ocean water.
No, absolutely.
Ooh, my fur armor would smell real bad after that.
Wet dog. Wet dog.
Yeah, I think for sure Hannar is totally like, listen, after this, we're going back and we're getting you something a little better than fur. Okay? Like, it looks fine, I tell you, but we can make that better.
Yeah, and as you were saying, you're going to continue to the right. You come back around and you hit the long, thin hallway where they'd made their last stand again. So, and if you continue to explore the mines, you don't find anything else really of note. There are places that were clearly actual still mines. You can see that there is still ore and things to be had here. But for most of it, you've seen the most notable pieces of this place.
Okay.
I think we rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you exit the mines on your way out, you actually find a new entrance, a new exit. And as you're leaving, you come down this long hallway again. You return kind of back though you came from that great hall. And you realize as you walk, it's a much easier flow. And it's very clear to you that this is the main entrance. It's like, oh yes, literally everything is designed to come from this place, and you must have come in what is a
The
side
delivery
entrance.
entrance,
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, like kind of the side door to this mine. So it leads out among the peaks of Luin, and yeah. So wait, no, that's the north door. I think I read the wrong one. Yep. I read the wrong one. No. Nope. Yep, that's the wrong one. Not that one. You didn't come out of that one. You came out of the gate. Sorry. So the dwarven miners that dwelt in this dwarven hall in this valley, there's a gate that is obviously like still there a little bit, but it is like off to the side. It's kind of
Been
on its
rent
side.
open.
Yeah. But it seems like as the ocean flowed out, it didn't sit here and wear away at it like it did a lot of the rest of the things. So there are still carvings on these doors, kind of akin to like the ceiling that managed to escape the waters. So there's still like clear like carvings, and again, very beautiful on this door. It has been exposed to the elements because it's been sitting outside for so long, so it is more worn, but you're still able to a little bit see what, again, the splendor that this place used to have. And yeah, you can then continue down the mountain to wherever you want to go.
We're going to Hannar's home first
Yes.
to send them up here to get the rest of it out.
Also to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Rest a little bit, yes. Now you probably it is a little bit of a journey, so you're probably going to need to camp a few nights.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a full journey phase for this piece, but why don't we do like a quick roll like we did last time, just to see like what exciting things you meet along the road.
As we haul the decapitated head of this horrible monster.
Yes,
It probably-
that.
Yeah, it probably smells really bad.
So I'm going to have each of you just roll a feat die. Oh, and roll your journey
Or
or
travel?
travel. That's what I meant.
So an extra feat die as well as the travel? Or?
No,
Or
sorry.
just the travel.
Roll on the feat die first, and then
then roll travel?
Yeah, and then I'll have you roll travel when I get to each one of you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just a feat die right now?
Yeah, we're doing the quick version of journey.
5.
All right, so 5. We'll start over here. A mishap. So go ahead and roll your your travel.
Wait, what's my number?
For travel? It's your heart.
Succeed.
Okay.
Nothing special.
Cool. Then you each of you take 2 fatigue. And what is the mishap that happens, or that almost happens?
Okay, I was gonna say it still
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. You still take the fatigue, but you don't get the extra fatigue. If you'd failed, you'd all take the extra
Okay.
fatigue.
Did we get any fatigue back from camping overnight in the mine?
No.
Okay.
I mean, other than the fighting of the monster, where you gotta
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
your endurance went down, but you don't actually get fatigue unless you're actually journeying.
Can I
Oh, right. Okay.
sing a walking song?
Oh yeah,
Because it's +1 to feat die rolls.
perfect.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Sorry, I
Nice.
didn't think of that till right this
That's okay.
No,
well,
that's
it's
okay.
still you still would be in that same band,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't have changed because you rolled a 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have gotten a 6. It's still in that same band.
Got it.
But everyone else add 1 to
The
whatever you roll.
mishap that we narrowly avoid. Let's see.
We're gonna say you're just coming out of the mountains. You'll be like the first event that happens.
Okay. I think this hasn't been traveled in a long time. And so the path is a little bit unstable. And so like Runa characteristically is probably going first, and takes a step and the path starts to break away a little bit and she just like narrowly avoids going with it.
Okay. Very good. All right. Next one.
3.
And that's with +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Ill choices.
great. Uh-huh. Roll in the tray. All right. I just make it.
Okay, good.
Nothing special.
If you failed, you would have gotten a shadow point of dread. So, what is the thing that is happening like during this part of the journey that's almost like you're almost overcome with dread about something? And it can be a dream, it can be something you see, it can be.
I think as we're walking and leaving behind this monumental feat that we have accomplished, it begins to register for Aerlind that all those dots on Glorfindel's map could be this. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
And going all the way into the wildlands and into the west and into the east and everywhere. And it just begins to sink in how the scale of what is actually out there is not something that we as a fellowship, like looking at Runa going, we could do this for Runa's entire lifetime, and we would still not be able to defeat every single one of the points on this map if they are this big.
Yeah. That's very good, yeah. All right. Next one. Liriel? 6. All right. So also a mishap.
Okay. I did not make it, but I got a Tengwar.
Okay. So what is the thing that happens? So everyone's going to take, you take 2 fatigue from Aerlind's thing, and you're going to take 2 fatigue, except literally you're going to take 3 fatigue. So there's a mishap that happens. And it can be something terrifying. It could be something silly. It can be whatever, but it just like delays you and makes you more tired.
We take like just a slightly wrong turn, and it delays us a little bit,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh crap, weren't we
We've
just
seen this
here?
stone twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. All right, Hannar.
A 4.
A 4. Okay. Is that with the?
That's with the plus.
Okay. So another mishap. Okay. Did you?
None of us.
So many mishaps.
Let's see. And then it's travel, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh. I made it with a Tengwar.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Great. So everyone takes 2 fatigue. So what is the mishap that you avoid?
I think we just narrowly avoid a group of evil things.
Okay.
I suppose I'd leave that up to you because I don't know
Okay.
what thematically would be here,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe goblins,
Okay.
some small. Well, they wouldn't be out during the day, but
Mm-hmm.
something was making its way through this area,
Okay.
and we just caught sight of it or wind of it or something. Maybe it was moving very quickly. Like maybe it was going back to say that the terror has been slain or something, but it doesn't see us. So we don't end up delayed, and it's moving too quickly for us to catch.
Okay. I think that's as you are traveling down, you're not even necessarily, I feel like, roll awareness, everybody. Elves, you can add an extra die.
I succeed with the Tengwar.
I succeed. Nothing
Okay.
special.
Succeed with a Tengwar.
Total failure.
Okay.
Oh,
Awareness is not Hannar's thing.
no.
I'm glad I'm blessed because my other one wasn't allowed.
You're traveling, you're moving. Hannar, you don't feel it at all. You succeeded too, Liriel? 3 of you get this feeling like in your spine of just like fear, like cold terror. as you continue, it just kind of passes, and then it kind of slowly fades, and then it's gone. And like you didn't see anything, but you knew something bad, like not right where you were, but nearby. And yeah,
I have a horrible question. Can we hear anything?
you hear what sounds like horse hooves.
You. I'm on to you.
But the way that these heeks are made, it just kind of echoes a little bit, and then it disappears, almost like it's not really there. And then it's just gone.
We almost died. That was very close.
Yes. And those of us in the audience and who are lore masters see that like there's like these hills have these like low points between them, and not very far over, the witch king of Angmar is riding to see what's happened to his pet beast that he loves so well, and he no longer feels. So as he is bringing the forces of darkness together, he was like going to like, why is my terror not responding? And you're all just a couple streets over avoid.
Waiting for that shoe to drop.
Yeah. But none of you know it's there, so or that he's even still a thing. So
No.
But he doesn't know we're a thing, so
nope.
Yeah.
all's fair.
Yep.
Yes.
Would we kind of know that this was worse than the beast as far as level of evil?
Yes.
Okay.
You just. I don't know if Runa, you'd know it was something bad,
Probably not comparatively.
but
yeah.
not you wouldn't have quite the knowledge of the different feelings of evil to be like, oh, this is something of the shadow. Like you would be like, oh, something really bad's nearby. But you were like, both of you kind of feel like, oh, this is like the same feeling we had a little bit ago, but like just compounded exponentially.
And I think Aerlind doesn't fully fathom how deep it goes, but sees it.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah, I like give
Liriel's eyes.
Aerlind a look because I know he would have felt the depth of it, and I was just kind of like, let's keep riding,
Mm-hmm.
or walking, whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Just out of character question, would Runa's ring have gotten cold or weird or anything since it was of a similar make?
The ring? Or you mean
her
the
magic
sword?
ring?
Oh. Doesn't it bless?
It's just
That-
a magic ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I
That-
thought it was
We're-
of the similar elven craft line.
Yeah, that's not a thing that happens with all elven things, though. It's
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like being in close proximity, one that had been corrupted to a different degree. I didn't know if it was.
Probably not. You know what might have happened, though?
Sword.
Your sword might glow just a little bit. Now it's like daytime, so I don't know if you'd notice. I mean, because
It's
he's
in a
kind of a
scabbard,
ghost.
too. Yeah.
Well, it's in a crystal scabbard.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. We do work for the guy that really pissed him off.
I think she might notice it, like, as that feeling, like, comes and goes. Like, I think as it's going, she probably notices just the sword just, like, stop glowing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that was almost bad.
Yeah. And it probably doesn't glow, like, because he's also kind of alive now. Like, he's not, it's like a weird middle thing. So it probably doesn't glow as much as it would for a full-on ghost. But it's even the sword's a little bit like, I don't know if the, yeah, maybe a little glowing. We'll just like meet in the middle halfway. That's why all my bases are covered.
It glows in question mark.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, that's very much the vibe you get. All right. So after this very kind of pseudo-dramatic moment, more frightful for all of us watching at home than it is for you, except for Liriel, who's like, oh no, this is like the thing. This is like the worst thing I've ever felt, and I felt a lot of bad things. Yeah, you continue on to Hannar's home.
The whole time Hannar was just like, I can notice tracks in the ground.
Oh, I
How delightful.
Excellent.
If nobody objects, I am 100% pushing to have Deidre take over as like administrator of the new settlement.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is
Oh.
absolutely her wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would shine there. I would do want to make sure we leave enough time. So we have about 45 minutes till our usual endpoint. You know. All right, I haven't started. I'm not gonna cry now.
Not yet.
So I do want to make sure we have enough time to kind of go over where we want everyone to be going. But I am also happy to role play out things, Hannar, with your family if you want to do that at this point.
At this point, I don't
Okay.
feel like it. Other than that point,
Okay.
like before, I'm not going to go and tell whoever our leader is here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a mayor or a
Mm-hmm.
burgermeister, whatever we want to call the leader of this dwarven city, because it's not a king.
It's not in this point, no.
Yeah. So before I do that, I would definitely go home, explain what was found to the family, be like, I think Deidre should take, we should hire a group to go with her and start to set it up as an expansion settlement. It's far easier than building more into this mountain. We have a whole neighboring community that we could start. And it could fund itself. Like,
Aerlind shows every mighty dwarf that looks like they aren't going to faint. That the doom of Agmar,
for sure, yeah.
the beast
I
of
forgot.
Agmar is real.
I think some probably do faint.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she's carrying around this horrible sack.
I'm gonna see what's
You
in
know
the
what?
bag.
I still have the Palantir sack.
Yeah.
You could totally take that.
Yeah.
It's the bag to put scary things in.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you report like, hey, there is a dwarven hoard of treasure that I believe that we are the closest thing to the inheritance of. And your sister, using all her type A personality power and all her knowledge, actually, even though she is not the finest craftsperson in your family, like she knows good metal, she knows all these things. She's very apt at appraising actually and haggling. So which is why she was in the front of the store. So there starts to be this large, actually the entire settlement goes in kind of into overdrive. Like doing this, a lot of resources are turned towards this massive project of going, and now that it's safe, reclaiming this other dwarven city. And whose name I had written down at one point. So there is Gabalgathal, which is the settlement that you took over in the mountains. And there's Tumen Zahar, which is the other giant settlement, which you are taking back. Technically, yours isn't supposed to be either one of those. Yours is like a third one, but they didn't name yours, so I'm just going to steal the name from the other one. Because Tolkien named the two giant old cities from 6,000 years ago, did not name the one that dwarves are living in now.
Sure.
Yep.
Seems fine.
And we never meet any dwarves from the Blue Mountains, so.
No, they're all long gone. And in Elvish, they're Belagost and Nogrod. So are the names of the cities, those same places, but in
Nogrog
Elvish.
is the one we refounded.
Yes. Yeah, and they are able to, over the course of many months, get all this huge wealth from the bottom of this well, which it turns out it was kind of a plan for the dwarves if anything ever happened. And the way the well was dug was actually down and out underneath.
Bell shape.
Yeah, so it's kind of a kind of like I forget which one it is. It's like it's not a beaker. The beakers are the straight,
Like
tall
an
ones.
Erlenmeyer flask.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's fine. That's much more dwarvish than my science. Like
Gourd.
there we go. Terms. So they are able to eventually like drain all the brackish water from there, and like slowly mine their way. Like actually, they decide to go from like the side of the mountain, and are able to pull out literally multiple fortunes. Like they could rebuild an entire city, like from the ground up based on the fortune they found. And then also just the things they found, like the ceiling, they were able to take like detailed notes about the ceiling, and they have started. It's a long process, and there's a lot of dwarven politics involved, and whether they should kind of reclaim and resettle this mountain, or whether it should be left as, so there's a lot of back and forth about that. But they at least have the option now to make that decision.
Sure.
And your sister Deirdre is absolutely at the forefront of all that planning and breaking things down. And you can see immediately like the changes happening in your city. And there's a large number of dwarves coming to your city now that they've heard of this. And a lot of them are very excited about the prospect of maybe reclaiming some of the grandeur of the old age, partially inspired by the reclaiming of the other mountains. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, look at us. We're reclaiming our heritage. We're coming back to the greatness that we knew before. And this is very much a part of that push.
Nothing bad could happen to dwarves from here on out.
Nope, ever.
Nope, it'll be fine. All right. So I think also you wanted to you were delivering the head of this beast,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
To Glorfindel?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't need to have the whole journey there. We'll just kind of like...
We do it over time.
Yeah, fast travel. Like, yeah, and I mean, this is a thing you take time with.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is a couple like wrap-up scenes at the end, and then we'll do kind of like character epilogues. Mm-hmm. I know. But yeah, why don't we do kind of a return to Rivendell with this information. And Liriel, this is your home. You're back home.
I definitely would tell Lord Elrond everything, including that feeling we all got of something worse.
Okay. Young Liriel, were you worse than the terror? What did you feel?
I felt the darkness on a depth I've never felt before. And you know what I've encountered.
Indeed I do.
This was big, for lack of a better term.
He looks very troubled. It seems that the only thing worse than the beast would be its master.
And that is my fear.
But it's dead.
Is it, though? The beast was dead. Supposedly.
The Witch King was killed long ago. It is possible that something similar still roams in the mountains. Perhaps there's a dragon that is known to the Horde. Have the dwarves faced any such things, Master Dwarf? You discovered a dragon who would sought out the Horde that you discovered?
No, not in the time since.
Well, this is most concerning. I would.
But I would volunteer that, if anything, our journeys have taught us that the dead are still a danger.
Oh,
That is unfortunately true.
Well, you should speak with Glorfindel indeed about this. He will want to add it to his maps. It seemed a bit of a folly, I will admit, when I first started them. I thought perhaps was his way of coping with all that had befallen him in his tragic lives. But the more I see and the more I hear, I am worried. There is a shadow that perhaps is even darker than we imagine. Thank you for taking such a terrible task in hand and succeeding so well. And he bows his head. I know there are many here who kind of smiles, wish to greet you, and I'm sure you are very anxious to speak with Glorfindel yourselves and share the details of your adventure.
yes, very much so.
Make yourselves at home and rest well. And try not to fall off any waterfalls, please. He looks like right at Runa. Or allow either of my sons to do the same.
I shall do my best.
Bows and kind of grandly turns the perfect little train of his casual elven indoor outdoor wear. Yeah. Trailing behind a bit. Yeah. So what would each of you like to do while you're in Rivendell?
Aerlind goes to the war room.
Okay. Right away. Do you all want to go to Glorfindel right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we need to
Yeah.
get this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to see the princes.
Bruna's like, fine.
Okay. Won't take that long.
Yeah.
Elves live forever. They'll still be there.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah, and we bring him the head.
Okay.
That's the opener.
Yeah. Well done. I am impressed. He grabs it and lifts it, like completely unfazed by this disgusting thing, which is now a bit
Worse.
ripe. Yeah. Yeah.
Super bad.
Yeah. I have distant memories of this creature, and it was fierce indeed. You all should be commended by just to face it, much less defeat it. And who struck the killing blow?
A dwarven friend for the honor of his people.
Only thanks to all of you.
Glorfindel grins at that answer.
Aerlind looks to the floor.
Well done, Master Dwarf. You have done great honor to those who came before you. In a great line of people, you are indeed a shining light. Well done.
Thank you.
He goes, he drops it in like this big chest thing and closes closes the top of it, and then goes and like scribbles a bit on his map, and he crosses off a big section there. And you do see that there's a lot more. There's not more like big markings like that one, but there's a lot more like small dots and things like that, which you know from looking at the map he gave you that that's like not necessarily big things. That's more small things like the burn beasts or just spiders or things like that, like dark things, but not major terrors. But it's still a concern. Like you can very clearly tell there's more reports. Whether that is him getting better at collecting information or whether that's more actual things that are dark in the world, I will let you each choose what your character believes about that. And so tell me of this battle. It seems that you have also reclaimed a dwarven homeland. It seems like you had a busy day.
That we did.
That's one way to put it.
Just say that you kind of you have to actually like
Yeah.
you tell him about the battle and like going through the caves and finding the sword, and he asks to see the sword.
Oh, she absolutely
Yeah.
so shows him the sword.
Very impressed with the sword and likes it, and like all the different things, and the fact that the dwarves have reclaimed like this ancient hoard and are rebuilding brings him great pleasure. And he like marks that on the map, and he marks it in a little bit of a different color, like this may be a stronghold for future against the darkness in the future. Yeah, do any of you have things you specifically want to ask him or talk to him about?
I want to tell him about the same thing I told Lord Elrond, you know, but I say, Lord Elrond does not think it's possible that the Witch King is back. But no one thought that the beast existed. Everyone thought it was just a fairy tale. And yet, his head sits in that chest. I don't think we should take this lightly.
I have the greatest respect for Lord Elrond. He is wise beyond his years, and he is a great leader for his people. But I fought the Witch King myself at the Battle of Fornost, and it has been my suspicion for some time that he and maybe other dark things from our past are clawing their way back into life. I do not know if he is just a specter or if he has regained his true physical form or what possibilities there are in between. But for many years now, I have suspected and seen traces and felt familiar, icy colds of his fell presence in many places. Whether he is there now or if his evil touch just lingers over the eons, I do not know.
In Elvish, I described to him the feeling that I got because there aren't words in common for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I describe the level and the subtleties and the little nuances of what I felt.
I think Runa would add that her sword did start to glow, not fully, but like something in between a ghost and alive was near us at that time.
Mm-hmm. You've never seen it, but Glorfindel's eyes go wide, and there's almost a touch of fear. Just like a breath of it for a moment, and then he like
It scares me more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely anything, because he's probably been your leader for literally thousands of years.
Yeah.
Liriel, he has sent you in other places. Like he has fought by your side. He taught you probably a lot of what you know about fighting dark things. He takes a breath for a moment after you both describe, and he he starts to say it in Elvish, and then he stops himself because he was replying to you, and then he thinks better of it and that you all need to understand. Trust yourselves and trust your hearts. For evil preys on the logic that says it cannot exist in places it is. You all have stout hearts that will not lead you astray. Do not let those who let their minds dictate their actions force you to ignore what you know in your hearts. And he kind of like glances or like out the window kind of towards Lord Elrond's like chamber. No matter how much you respect or care about them, sometimes the best way to protect someone is to ignore their advice. Takes a deep breath and he turns, and the safe zone that he just drew on the map around that dwarven city, he like erases that and marks like one of the biggest marks you've seen. And then he reaches over to like where like Angmar is itself, which is actually not that far on the map.
Nope.
And like puts a huge circle around Angmar and just like leaves it there and just kind of like contemplates it for a moment. And it almost like gets smaller, like you know how when you're stressed out you kind of like curl into yourself a little bit. You almost see his shoulders kind of curl in on themselves a little bit as he like tightens his arm kind of around himself. There is much left to do. And he kind of glances over at Runa for a moment, and then he glances, and it, like, there's a little bit of, like, confusion and sadness that, like, crosses his face, that he then kind of smiles at you, like, trying to, like, it's like that moment when a kid, like, hits on a sad truth of life, and you're just like, yeah, that's really true. It's gonna be okay anyway. like trying, not patronizing, but trying to like be comforting at that same time. And he then looks at Hannar, and the two of you probably realize, like, and read in him, like, this may be something that takes longer than either of you have. He's not saying that out loud, but that's the thought that's crossing his mind in this moment. We all must do what we can in the time that we have. I need a drink. And he starts pouring some very strong, it's probably not like Elven wine. It might be a little bit of a fancy, it's probably like a little stronger than that.
It's Elven port.
Yeah, he's like, there we go. This is like when
That'd
we
be
need the strong stuff.
Yeah.
So good,
Oh,
right? Any other specific questions or discussions with him?
I think I'd probably ask,
Mm.
having seen so much of history, have you ever heard of another dwarf besides Durin that was able to return and continue helping? Like, is that a thing?
The fate of the dwarves is unknown. Your own people have lore around such things, but the fate of dwarves and men and hobbits is a mystery. We know as elves what awaits us. Some of us have experienced it. But what Eru and the Valar have in store for all of you is shrouded in mystery. And it is meant to be so. I wish I could shed some light on it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. I guess I'll have to find out.
I was blessed to come back. And from what I have seen of your heart, Master Dwarf, yours is mightier and stouter than mine ever was. If any dwarf was ever blessed to return, you deserve such an honor.
Well, thank you. If I do return, perhaps I'll come and let you know.
I would be fascinated and enjoy that. And that goes for all of you in all the ages of this world. I will always do my best to aid you and hope that however it can be, that we stay together and in touch.
And to that end, when next? Aerlind has been standing at the new map, the updated map, and copying it onto the one that he has been carrying.
Your hearts have been leading you in the right direction. I believe the Valar have intent and purpose with you all. As you chose to go to the swamps of Swanfell and found the greatest smith of the ages, one of them, Celebrimbor's dear apprentice and love, we didn't even imagine was still there. And then to the dwarven mine with hints of a monster, and managed to recover a dwarven hoard worth a city itself and take out one of the generals of Angmar. I think the stout hearts that I've been speaking of will guide you better than I could. So reflect yourselves and choose where you think you should go. I think you all know better than I. Whichever of the Valar guides you knows better than all of us. I'm going to say that we kind of like fade off on this, like drinking and chatting and sharing adventure stories. We probably like have moments in Rivendell. I want you each to have another moment that we kind of describe for the game before we go into, or I think we'll go right into our epilogues actually, because I think this is like a great kind of cap RP moments. So we probably have like a little bit of a montage of like you climbing waterfalls with the twins and
Writing. Lots of writing.
yeah, lots of writing and like having a few more like encounters with Estelle while you're asking, you know, he's asking you about different things that you've seen, and you maybe tell him some of your adventures, and he's still offering he can come along with you. I know you have a fourth now, but I can. Yeah, I mean, like, so that sort of thing. You like reconnecting with this is your home, finally being back home, and also having this kind of like reflection of like Elrond may not know everything. And there might be things in this world that you might know more about than Lord Elrond. And maybe this bonding of you and Glorfindel of like, there are things that we might not be able to convince others are real, but we know in our hearts they're real. And we need to start preparing so that we can protect the ones we love.
And I think I would spend extra time with my family members, just appreciating. Yeah. That time.
Yeah. And Hannar, would you take more drawing lessons? What would you do in your time here in Rivendell?
I think Hannar would present drawings of the things he's done since he left.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd put a little collection together and give it to Elrond, and then kind of take it to his art teacher and be like, "This is what I've been working on. I think I've been getting better." You know, that
Mm-hmm.
that kind of the the graduated student that comes back to visit and is
Yeah.
all like, "Hey, look, I've done things.
Yeah.
I'm not a complete loss out here in the real world." But I think he wants to even surreptitiously look and see about learning more about the black speech.
Ooh.
Having heard it a couple of times now,
Okay.
like it bothers him that he doesn't understand it, but he senses the menace. So I think he wants to learn how to understand it so that he's better at figuring out what it means and how best to fight it.
Okay.
So if that means like at night sneaking into the library and finding the forbidden book that's underneath a hidden latch or something, that's for sure what he would try and do.
I feel like Glorfindel gives
Yeah.
you like super secret lessons about that.
Sure.
There would be no books that have it probably in any
No.
library here in Rivendell, and Elrod would not let that be spoken here.
No,
But
like,
so it's one of those things that Glorfindel realizes is important and necessary and can help you in your task of defeating the darkness. But it's something that even he like takes you on walks outside of the gates of Rivendell. Like he doesn't even dare to like give you even secret lessons in Rivendell itself.
that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
So, but he will like give you some basic understanding lessons so that you can more readily face the darkness. So, okay. I think that's it. I do want to go around and do like epilogues, and we kind of like I asked you to think about this when we left last week, and I've sent you a little bit of information over the course of the week about where you think things would go. So we're between like 50 and 60 years from the events of Lord of the Rings. So it's a little wiggly since we never exactly nailed down. We're like after The Hobbit ends. So there's like a gap there. We're kind of at the point where the darkness is sort of rising, but we haven't just, but nobody really is aware that the ring has been found, things like that. So what do you see as what your character or characters would do next? Does anyone want to go first?
I mean, I can.
Okay. Hannar, what do you think?
I think after Rivendell, Hannar would go immediately back to the Shire
Mm-hmm.
and pick up
Your ward.
Sausage
Oh.
and
Mhm.
my ward that still remains unnamed for future episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think he would probably bring both of them back home,
Mm.
even just to visit,
Mhm.
right? Like, oh, this is my friend. He's been caring for, that kind of a
My
thing,
ward.
just so he can have some hospitality. Like,
Yeah.
Hannar has put so much upon him hospitality-wise over the years
Yeah.
that, like, I think it's finally time to turn that around a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's probably a trip back home, satisfy grandmother, bring home kid, teach
Mhm.
them about what it's like to be a dwarf and, life in the mountain and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hannar turns it into like he goes on monthly trips out to find something to deal with. Like get together with the whole group
Mm-hmm.
and go and investigate something. But it's sort of like on a monthly clock, right? So like the tick is heading out to go and find some darkness in the world and deal with it.
Mhm.
And the talk is making sure to come back home
Yeah.
in between each. So maybe not for a whole month, but
Yeah.
it's a fairly regular schedule of out and back and out and back.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you see your ward staying with your family in the Dwarven city or going back with Sausage?
I think he probably splits time.
Okay.
Like I like Hannar feels it's very important. Like he's a hobbit. he should learn hobbit things
Yeah.
and life as a hobbit, and the Shire's a beautiful place, and Hannar likes going there too, so that's not weird. Like, he's happy to go back there. But I think he also wants to teach him not war, but he wants to teach him like things to make him ready for a future that he sees on the horizon, kind of a thing. Like, in terms of the literary, like, maybe this is the one hobbit that was kind of ready for Sharky to show up. Like,
Yeah.
like,
okay.
someday bad things could happen in the Shire, and the hobbits need to be ready.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's sort of the education that Hannar tries to pass on.
Okay. I think that you are surprised and impressed also. Like, Sausage has been training this young one. And like not beyond what is appropriate for their age, but like they're already learning swordplay, and they're very talented with a spear, actually. And
Yeah.
and they really enjoy going back and forth. They're, for a hobbit, they're pretty talented actually at the forge. Like, it's not like anything necessarily a dwarf would write home about, but your whole family is like very impressed by, oh, this little hobbit kid is actually pretty good at making stuff. It seems like their talent lies more with like beautiful things, so less armor, but they actually do have a very nice talent for like jewelry and smaller works like that. So I'm gonna say that maybe they set up like not an apprenticeship but a friendship with Gale, who is and who also kind of has a fondness in her heart for all your adventures. So this is also her way of kind of like, so what is your dad up today? Okay, and how is Auntie Runa? Like, all these things.
Cute.
So, and they have more shoes than they know what to do with. Like, your grandmother, and eventually your grandmother does pass, but even then, like, it becomes like this weird tradition in the family where like your little hobbit ward has so many pairs of shoes, and they are actually one of the only hobbits that actually ends up wearing shoes.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
yeah, like,
But maybe only when he's around the dwarves.
yeah, maybe, who knows, but it might have started out of like obligation, but now they're like, that's not so bad, they're kind of fancy, I like them, and they like,
It's hard to put extra decorations on your bare feet.
so they're able to like,
on that.
they probably invent some sort of like fancy shoe clasps and
Chain.
buckles and chains and shoe jewelry. I don't know. And your sister does become like the very like successful mayor equivalents. Like, I'm sure that there's some sort of dwarven title, but can't think of it at the moment, of this new settlement that's building out of the mines that you retook. And they have kept the ceiling and have done a little bit of restoration work and are trying as best they can to restore everything else to as close as they can figure things looked, while still actually like making it a place where they can live day to day. They have left and sealed the room with the cairns in it out of like just respect for the humans that died here. They also, the remains that they found, they brought more of them into that room. So it is kind of a memorial in their new city there for just the terror that this beast brought. And they've thought of better parenting practices than terrifying their kids not to do things.
I think Hannar would specifically like spend time working with the stonemasons to try and recreate the like the ivy carvings from
Annuminous,
Yeah, took me a minute, but there it is. Around that doorway, like, so that wall is all kind of like ivy carved.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that you go through and it's like this beautiful dwarven, like neo-dwarven a little bit. But then you turn this down this one hallway, and it is very much as close as they can replicate of the Annuminous style. Just in that one area and around that door. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
I think that's kind of about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think when it comes time for the actual events of Lord of the Rings, I think Hannar's still out there.
Okay.
Like, there's no reason he wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I think he's off doing his own thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whether that's, yeah. I mean, it's still probably going out and dealing with
Darkness, yeah.
darkness of some kind, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And you've probably like seen, and you probably are someone that a lot of people turn to. You've probably become a bit of a leader in, if not like politically dwarven society, but like when things start happening that against bad things, you're probably one of the people they turn to.
Sure.
All right. Liriel?
I think Liriel, she realizes that even though she's traveled extensively and she's lived, in places and whatnot, they were mostly elven places, or elven and human, but she hasn't, gotten to know dwarves as well as she probably should have. And now that some of her apprehensions about dwarves are, gone, she's trying to learn more about them. She's learning more about hobbits because, she's never, other than his ward, never met one, you know. And now Sausage, but she's never met one. She also knows, though, the Shire is a very small place and not somewhere where they could defend themselves, so she doesn't want to bring harm to their door. So she more goes to places close to the Shire where she might meet hobbits and like get to know them and talk to them. But she still is fighting the darkness. And when she's not doing quests for Lord Elrond, she's going with these guys to go fight things. And I think that Aerlind sort of inspired her to have a mission, and I will probably not go till the last boat because I know they're going to need help.
I kind of see also you kind of becoming Glorfindel's like right hand in a lot of ways, and you and him probably share secrets between you that you don't even share with Lord Elrond necessarily. And it's hard to tell with Lord Elrond, like he knows so much. Like it's possible he does know that, the Witch King's back and all these things that you and Glorfindel suspect, but he just is like knows it won't help anything to panic people now, or like he may have some sort of long game wisdom that you're not even aware of. But the two of you do become kind of like fast friends there. Yeah. Okay. Runa, do you want to go next?
Sure. I think there's no getting her off the adventure track. That is a lifelong thing for her. So yeah, as soon as like our kind of rest and relaxation in Rivendell is done, it's like, right then, what's next on the map? Let's get some of these marks off of here. And I think her focus slowly over time switches a little bit. Like she's always going to look for treasure and keep up that tradition, but I think the focus starts to become more about chasing the darkness out of the world. And especially like later on in life, she continues with the next generation and has two daughters, and raises them like she was raised, but with a little bit more of the focus on like there's darkness in the world and it's our job to help get rid of it, and trains them like to be the next Runa, basically. Yeah.
Do they go adventuring with your friends? Do they find their own fellowship? I
think they find their own fellowship. She kind of like makes sure that they have all the contacts that she has. So they meet all of the incredible people that she's invited back to her grandmother's house.
Yes.
To look at the archive.
Which is probably your house now.
Which becomes her house eventually. And with her permanent invite to Rivendell, I think they get to go there and meet Glorfindel and everyone there. And yeah, she just passes on the legacy and continues.
Yeah. I I kind of love the thought of Runa has a strange, like a long life for a human. Like she probably lives like a little bit past 100. Everyone wonders if it's like all the time she spends with the elves, or maybe she's part elven. Like this is like the Bree rumors, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially because like these like two incredibly dashing, stunning elves every once in a while, like once a decade or two, like come to Bree and stay and visit at her home. And it's just one of those things where like everybody in Bree stops as these two elven princes like ride into town and like chill at your house. And it starts out as like, you know, you go on little adventures around and nearby and climb and things, and then as you age they come and they share your adventures, and they probably are very good friends with your daughters and your daughters' daughters, and it becomes this kind of legacy friendship.
I love that.
Yeah. So, and yeah, by the time like the events of Lord of the Rings came around, you'd be like in your 90s. So you're probably around for some of that, but yeah, that's epic.
Probably super pissed that those ring wraiths came and knocked down the gate.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
rude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just spitting fire out of that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear the yelling outside of Bree.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've always wondered like why it didn't get worse. Like, why did the ring wraiths just come and chill and then like leave and not? It's probably because Runa has like trained the people of Bree to be prepared for shadow creatures, and like everyone knew, okay, go hide, stay out of the way, like you can't take these things on yourself, like wait for people to prepare. So I feel like that's probably part of the explanation of that too.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too because it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Runa was there ahead of time. Oh, all right. And Aerlind.
If I may, I do have something that I wrote.
Okay. Yes, absolutely.
In all of his many journals, Aerlind begins to write more than just text. And takes a hand at poetry, given how much time he spends in Rivendell and a certain hobbit poet that makes their way through there very regularly.
Yes.
Darkness rises and ages fall. I stand beside you, kindred mine. I stand, and here I dwell before the call to see that faraway shoreline. May I walk with your boldened heart, O fiery fury wielder, for I see the evil you thwart, and the strength it takes to endure. May I see through your kind eyes, O wander-hearted messenger. I journeyed to know what is wise, and found it in deeds together. May I know clarity like you, O noble forest guardian. In our meeting, I found anew what it means to give devotion. May I forever remember, O ember-hearted mountain kin, the past's people left to wither for you, grow and blossom within. Wherever our paths may lead us, under what banners you call home, and whatever oaths you promise, I am with you where you may roam. For no pact nor vow can divide what your companionship imbued in me while walking at your side, as we toil to see lands renewed.
That's very good.
So he writes, and he writes, and he writes, but while he does, he travels.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a period of time where I think probably travels too far for Hannar to be able to go home, because he journeys through the Gap of Rohan and goes and sees everything in the Westlands, travels all the way up to the Lonely Mountain, all the way down to Befalas, and sees everything. His sketchbooks are immense. He has sketches of the dwellings of Lorien, the Hall of Kings in Gondor. He even sees Dol Guldur in its looming silhouette over Mirkwood, and even goes and sees the people of Lake Town. And over time, he does begin to kind of stay closer and closer, I think, especially as Runa gets older. And as Hannar's ward gets older and has you may or may not stay as active as well.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely.
And he just begins to stay a little closer, but begins to travel regularly between Mithlond and Rivendell. Of course, jumping around, still doing other things, but becomes a through-line safe messenger between those regions, and specifically begins to carry messages from Mithlond through to the Dunedain that are guarding the borders of the Shire, where he meets again Estelle, now grown, and somewhat regularly conveys information to Aragorn, the chieftain of the Dunedain, on behalf of Lord Rivendell. And in that transit, about 60-ish years after our adventures, a call comes to Mithlond, and Círdan sends, I have the name written down, sends, where's the name? I can read. Galdor. The one he sent the letter to all those many, many, many sessions ago. He and Galdor travel to Rivendell, where Galdor sits on the Council of Elrond. Because unbeknownst to them, they were summoned so that Galdor could represent Mithlond. And so Aerlind is actually in Rivendell as an attendant to the representative of Mithlond, because there's so few left.
Yeah.
And then after that, he goes home. He builds ships. And builds more ships and builds more ships and stays until the last one. And I'll read the last thing I wrote because it's once the War of the Ring ends and the world is at peace and he just stays in Mithlond, building ships and eventually having the great honor of helping build the ships that send the ring bearers to Valinor. And then when it's finally time, with Liriel and Celeborn and Círdan, he helps build the last ship. And then in Valinor, he rejoiced in the light of the Valar and the company of Beren, telling stories of the incredible peoples of Middle-earth, from the proud heroes of the War of the Ring to the sweet hobbit children, and the fellowship forged in song until the end of days.
That was really nice. All right. I don't think that there is anything else I can say that will end this campaign on a better note. Thank you all for being part of this amazing story. I thank you for passing me a tissue. When I started this game, I was really terrified, and I didn't think I was. I thought it would be fine. I thought it would be okay, and I would I know this well. And you've all just made this incredibly magical, and I am so sad to see this campaign go, and I'm so excited to see what comes next and see. There's just so many feelings tonight, and I don't know what to say, and I'm sorry. But thank you for going on this journey with me. Thank you for being so incredible about yes-anding every moment and listening as Kai and I spew out way too much lore and creating this incredible tale that has so much depth, so much more depth and connection and this amazing spider web of lore that somehow all still made sense beautifully. And the one thing everyone keeps saying about this campaign is how cozy and comfortable it feels, and how they listen to it to relax and feel good. And we managed to have this beautiful adventure that captured this amazing whimsical vibe, and it's just like it is what I wanted, and I didn't even dream how well we would do it. Like it is more than I could ever imagine. And so thank you all for being the main ingredient that made that happen. Because I feel like another combination of other people, like it just wouldn't have worked. And you all are just magical. And I am so honored to have been your Loremaster for this campaign. I'm okay. Everything's fine. Okay. There's someone else to talk about stuff. Okay, we should probably end. Thank you all so much. I have a thing. I'm going to read it. It'll be fine. It'll tell me what to do. For joining us for this incredible campaign. We're all crying. I'm sorry. You have... this is the end of the campaign for this one. If you loved this game, you should check out The One Ring, second edition by Freely Games, or Freely Publishing. It's a really, really great system. And if you rest in it, it is made to tell a whimsical tale. Approach it with that intent and it will do its job. If you approach it like D&D combat game, you'll get that too. But like it has such potential to tell a whimsical tale, and that is what it's supposed to do. Thank you so much to James V, who's been our chat mod through this entire campaign. Thank you to all of you who have followed this tale, who've gotten in touch with all of us through social media or Discord or chat or things like that. And we really appreciate all your incredible feedback and how much it meant to you too. It meant a lot to us too. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we were able to spend 25 sessions telling a whimsical tale with 3 sessions of combat ever. Without worrying about publishing companies or system popularity or ad revenue or anything like that. You can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. I am Kimi. I use she, her pronouns. I have been your Loremaster for this game. And it is just, I'm so proud of everything we've done here at this table. And even if no one else liked it, I would still be so proud of it. And you can find me at Golden Lasso Girl on Blue Sky now, as of 5 hours ago. And everywhere else. Or at Happy Jacks RPG. It's also me behind all of that. I'm here on Sundays now for our advice show, which is switched to Sundays. And you can find the games that I design at goldenlassogames.com. And let's go around this way.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kadave. You'll see me back here eventually doing stuff. Who knows what, when, but eventually. Other than that, a couple weeks out because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
It has become a actual released version 1.0 game now, so I have no more excuses. I will stream Dave the Diver.
Yes.
I kept waiting because they kept patching in new stuff, and I'm like, why would I want to do it? And then find out they changed stuff and made it cooler, and then I'd have to do it again. No, it's an official game now, so I will get on it. I promise.
All right. I'm Michelle. You can find me on the socials at Mishulu. And I just want to say what a privilege it has been to game with you guys. This was such a lovely game. It just really was. So thank you for having me. And
Yeah, we can find you on 12-Sided Stories.
12-Sided Stories.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so emotional.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai. It has been my sincere pleasure to play with you, Kimi, and with all of you. Being Aerlind of Mithlond, the unexpected character that stole my heart and all of my brain. You can find me on all social media platforms as Estelle of Imladris. This will be probably the last time I play in a game where that makes any sense, but you know what? You guys get to know.
We get it.
You can find me on Saturdays in Campaign 2 of Transplanter RPG, a all trans people color-led multi-system actual play where we explore a I can't spiel right now. non-colonial anti-Orientalist multiverse. Right now we have just entered the Wild Sea, and it is a good time. So find me there, and you can find me every other weekend with the Lore Brewery. But most of all, you will find me here again because Kimmy's gonna have to bar the door and lock me out and keep me away.
You've got the code. It's fine.
But yes, thank you.
And hello, everyone. I'm Sam. I have been Runa, your friendly neighborhood finder of swords and
Climber of things.
climber of things, and just himbo of Middle Earth.
The best.
This game, I feel like that scene in The Grinch, where his heart grows 3 sizes and all the Who's are singing in Whoville. Seriously, like, my weird cryptid heart has grown so much from this cozy, delightful game and from playing with you all every week for all of these sessions. It's been a comfort and a delight, and I love you all so much. You can find me on the internets at RedPandroid, where I will probably not shut up about this game for a while. And I'll be back at Happy Jacks at some point because, like Kai, you can't keep me out of here. I've been here forever. I will haunt this place.
Yeah.
And if you want to see my weird art, you can check out SierraNestore.com. I'll probably make some more stuff at some point.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all so much. Please check out happyjacks.org for all the systems that we've ever done actual plays of, which there are so many. And keep an eye out. Also, we have some amazing campaigns coming up. Some of the people at this table are in them. It'll be amazing. Dave.
I'm not spilling the beans.
Okay, it's fine. It's a secret. You have to keep looking. Okay.
I start spilling beans when I have a start date.
Yeah, that's important.
Once we figure that part out,
Yes.
then it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just being that jerk like, hey, guess what? At someday in the future,
Yeah.
we'll have some fun. But
Thanks again so much for all your support through this game. It's been so special and amazing. We don't have a next session. So next Monday, you can cry with all of us because we'll be all at home sitting going, why would I want to play it? But if you want to catch up on all the past episodes, because for some reason you are just hearing this and you haven't heard any of the other ones, go back. You can find us at happyjacks.org/unsung tales without the. And yeah, the Happy Jacks Network and all this stuff is at happyjacks.org. Thank you all so much. It's been our honor and privilege, and I can't wait to see what all of us do next in some other universe. It'll be amazing. Yes.
I would also like to just throw a big thanks out to the Tolkien fandom on the internet.
Yes.
Because I was a little terrified going into such an established universe that there was going to be vitriol and rage about all the things I'd get wrong. No, delightful.
Yeah.
Friendly people that have sent messages of support and friendliness, which is weird for me. So,
Weird for an
thanks.
IP fandom. Good job.
Yeah, you guys are winning out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, and it's specifically like the One Ring second edition like fans and first edition fans too. Like they have been incredibly supportive. I go in like the Discord and I ask like, hey, has anybody ever done this? Or hey, does it break canon too much if I do blah 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 blah, which totally breaks canon? And like, yeah, they're very awesome and supportive. And a lot of them have been following this adventure, so thank you all so much. Okay, now we really need to go because I'm gonna cry again. So let's see you. Bye. We love you. Thank you. Bye.